with a pogo stick. I've never heard of this franchise. Generic Controlman, that goes Moo here, back with another kill count reaction. Today we are starting the Leprechaun franchise with Leprechaun from 1993, and we'll also be doing Leprechaun 2 from 1994, back-to-back years. So I'm guessing the first one was a massive success. I have never heard of this franchise. A lot of people seem to be really excited about it based off the comment section of previous videos. I do read every single one of your comments, so leave some down below, even if you're a patron, whether you're subscribed now, whether it's the first time here. I will read your comments if you leave one. You can check my reaction to the last video I did, which is the Belko experiment and the Sunny Family Cult from Crypt TV. I'll leave my reaction to that right up there. Also, been linked down below in the description, also in place of my channel with all of my other kill count reactions going in chronological order. So I think we're gonna do like Leprechaun for like the next 2 or 3 weeks, I want to say, after this week, because we're going to do the entire franchise. That's why we did the Belko experiment and the Sunny Family Cult, so it wouldn't interrupt the Leprechaun experience. Also, this video might actually, I might make like a super long version covering the entire Leprechaun series once I'm done with the final movie. I think there's 7 of them, so this will probably be the intro for that. So if this is like a really long video, like after I've already posted the 7th one, there might just be like a super long version where I cut out the intro of all the other ones, just kind of like splice them all together. So I'll probably wear different shirts at some point, but it'll be like 7, or not 7 different videos, but like 3 or 4 different videos, and then I might just splice them all together and make one super long one, because those seem to do really well on YouTube. But shout out to the patrons. I would not be able to do this if it was not for them. $30 a month to get you all my reaction videos a day early. I completely against paywalls, and I'm here to make you smile, not make you pay. But like I said, do read all the comments with the Patreon, I'll be subscribed to. We just hit 95,000 subscribers, so we are 5,000 away from 100,000. And Leprechaun is apparently going to be a bad movie that is good or something like that. I don't know, but let's go ahead and jump on into it. All right, and I think some of these I think are age restricted. Also, if anything's ever blurred, it's because of copyright.
We have the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James Davies, and it's time for us to start another franchise. So in honor of tomorrow,
I've never heard of this
we're
franchise.
looking at Leprechaun, released in 1993, and
I was born in 97.
The Leprechaun series that contains 7
I'm gonna do all of them.
In the weeks that follow, we'll watch the titular Leprechaun as he hunts down everyone who dares to steal his pot of gold. His adventures will take him to Las Vegas, Compton, and even outer space, which are all just different backdrops for the same small bag of tricks he has, which include nebulous magical powers and a penchant for spitting out one-liners so bad that Fred Krueger wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot finger knife.
Let that be a lesson to you, lad. Always wear a prophylactic.
I need to let you know right off the bat that these movies are awful. None of them are great, and only a couple are halfway decent. And as awesome as Warwick Davis is, the Leprechaun himself fucking sucks. He's mean and nasty and hardly ever actually funny.
So what is his purpose exactly?
Are plagued by real low budgets, awful screenwriting, and some of the most horrendous acting I've ever seen. And I know that you might be asking, why do them then? Why not do a series more
because they have a cult following,
like Halloween or Saw? Well, because y'all, this show's about the horror genre as a whole, and we've got to look at everything: the good, the bad, and in the case of Leprechaun, the ugly. Maybe we'll get lucky and at least have some decent kills to watch. Let's find out and get to them.
I just went and saw Deadpool Wolverine. Is Wolverine usually like that in movies? I've never seen a Wolverine movie or an X-Men movie.
Who else seen the Leprechaun? Say yeah! In a voiceover, Lep says
so
that
I've missed every reference.
Gold gonna die. So that's probably not good news for Dan O'Grady, because I don't think he earned the money for that limousine at his 9-to-5 job drinking Jameson. He's all decked out in a suit with pants that make him look like a bag
Jennifer Aniston, what?
Hammer, and he's telling his lady wife that they're rich now because of something he's found.
Gold!
Yep, gold! That he says he got from a leprechaun after catching him. Inside their house, Mrs. O'Grady hears a little boy voice coming from inside Dan's suitcase. It's singing Mary Had a Little Lamb and complaining about the cramped conditions in there.
I can't breathe. Please open the suitcase. I'm gonna suffocate.
But when she opens it, it's just a pissed off leprechaun yelling about his gold and pushing her down the stairs. The tumble breaks the husband O'Grady's neck and kills her, giving us our first kill here 5 minutes in. Between this and that scene in Hercules, I might just never help a little kid again. It's always a trap. Lep confronts Dan and asks him where his gold is, while also complimenting his late wife's brewing skills.
Your wife makes a fine pot of tea, Danny me boy.
But Dan ain't playing around. He's got a 4-leaf clover, which is the active ingredient in Lep be gone. And show no, that Lep be going.
Why does a 4-leaf clover affect the leprechaun?
Give Dan's dead wife a shoulder massage and perform the worst ventriloquism show I've ever seen.
Give him the gold, Dan. He's a nice little leprechaun.
At least the voice.
Shoots him with a gun. Okay, then puts his limp little leprechaun body in a big wooden crate, setting the clover on top as a sort of protection. He nails that boy up and gets ready to light a leprechaun bonfire, but the little green man apparently uses his powers to give Dan a stroke before he can set it off.
How can you do that?
Later, and cruising up to O'Grady's fine North Dakota home is J.D.
North
Redding
Dakota.
and his daughter Tori, played by a 22-year-old Jennifer Aniston in her first ever theatrical film role. Her character is the worst kind of cliche.
I'm going to be miserable here. There's no swimming pool, there's
high
no
maintenance.
shopping malls, there's no cable.
Yep, the spoiled rich California girl who just, oh my god, can't even. Like, what is this
That's
even?
Jennifer Aniston's first role in a movie.
1991,
That's
and she has a
insane.
cell phone. What? She bumps into this hunk Nathan and spills his paint thinner, but when she offers him money to replace it, he sticks it to her with a real condescending sense of small-town morality.
You knock over my can of paint thinner and then you offer me $20.
How about that?
Maybe you said you were sorry.
What? You want an apology instead of money? You can't buy groceries with sorries, dude.
That's
that
true.
wasn't belittling enough.
Well, I just think it's funny the way girls are always afraid of spiders and stuff, you know?
Wow, this dude's the worst. Even if he is rocking the muscly handyman Aladdin look. His challenge to Tori's bravery
crazy
makes
thing
her
is
decide
she,
to stay,
like,
so she tells her dad to put her suitcase
really
back
looks
inside.
young.
And
Like,
maybe
it
while
doesn't
you're at it,
even
Pops,
look like
change that
Jennifer
outfit.
Aniston when I
You
think
look
of
like a
Jennifer
cowboy
Aniston.
who's worried about his upcoming hunting trip with Dick Cheney. Let's get some characters who aren't the absolute worst, like Nathan's precocious little brother Alex and his Lenny-like friend Ozzy. They're actually kind of enjoyable, even if Alex looks like a good guy to all come to life. Probably doesn't hurt that Ozzy's played by Mark Holton, aka Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Their antics lead to Ozzy getting covered in blue paint,
That's
so he
what,
heads
Pee-wee
inside
Herman?
to get hosed down, where he hears a little kid voice singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Wait, so Leprechaun's been in a box for 10
Follows
years?
the voice
and-
into the basement, where the little boy voice begs Ozzy to let him out. And after knocking the clover off the top of the crate, Lep's free to punch out of the box and get straight back to Leppin', which
Also,
apparently means
apparently he has regeneration?
Oh, it's good protein
Ew.
at least. Get them gains. Ozzy asks what he is, and Lep spells it out for him.
You have to ask?
The buckles on me shoes? Why, I'm a leprechaun.
He wants to shine Ozzy's shoes, but first he needs his gold. The Ozman doesn't know what he's talking about, so he runs away, successfully escaping.
Wait, was that all of his
Leprechaun and
gold?
Weak-ass powers.
You only got away because me powers are weak.
Ozzy runs
Why is
outside
it
with
weak?
a fanciful proclamation about a leprechaun in the basement. And
Yep.
of course, nobody believes him, even though there's a rainbow up in the sky.
It's a magic rainbow.
Okay, Ozzy, even though there's a magic rainbow up in the sky. Ozzy runs off to see what's at the
Okay,
end of
well.
it, and Alex follows to wrangle him. But instead
Is
of
there
a
gonna be
pot of
gold?
it's just a rusty old piece of shit truck. Wow, Lep, your powers
That's-
really are weak.
that's
But
probably where the
actually,
gold
it turns
is.
out
Yep.
there really is a gold coin in the cab of the truck.
Just
and
one?
a whole bag of more behind the seat. Hot damn! To test
Oh.
if it's real, Ozzy bites down on one of
That's
them.
not how
and
you
then he
test.
poofs up and swallows it, so now they're down a coin.
Nice going, Jaws.
But there's plenty of gold left. So much, in fact, that Alex gets excited about the possibilities of what they can do with it.
We can get you an operation to make you smart and fix your brain.
But I'm smart.
Oh my god, that's actually kind of heartbreaking. Besides
Oh,
Warwick
no.
Davis's enthusiastic performance, Alex and Ozzy are the only parts of this movie worth watching. Tori and Nate are bonding over paint and her quilt-style denim shorts when Lep crawls underneath the truck and starts
doesn't-
caressing Tori's leg.
That's
It's super
creepy.
fucking stupid, but she somehow thinks that it's Nate.
Nathan.
Yeah, Tori. Even though you just saw Nathan go the
other
he
way.
somehow doubled back, crawled under the truck, and is
He's a
lightly
magician.
brushing your ankle as a way to flirt with you. Man, I hate these characters so much.
I
She
really
sees that
hope,
it couldn't be him. She
videos
flips
have
out
copyright
and winds
issue.
up with a scratched
There was
ankle.
so much
Lep runs
copyright
off
issue
to
with
hide
Balco
behind a tree
experiment.
and make some kitty noises to
I
trick
uploaded
Tori,
it
Nate,
for a
and
day
JD.
before
When
it was
JD
supposed to go
thinks
to
the
the
cat
patrons.
sounds hurt, he tries to
And
fish
had
it out
no
of the
issues.
tree
And
stump,
then an
only
hour
to get
before
a
it goes
nasty
to the
bite on
patrons,
his hand, courtesy of the
copyright
leprechaun.
blocks it.
They drive JD to the emergency room in town, so Alex and Ozzy take off to get their gold coin appraised at Collectibles Joe's Coins.
single
But
coin?
somehow Leprechaun knows what they're up to, so he steals
How?
a trike from the barn and rides his minty ass all the way into town, arriving at the exact same coin shop at the exact same time.
How did he
Collectibles
know?
Joe says the coin looks pretty valuable, but he'd like to keep it overnight to study it. After Alex and Ozzy leave, Def Lep appears out of the shop owner's safe to bite him in the leg and judge his business acumen.
Bad shop owner. Bad shop owner.
Because the shop owner had been in possession of one of his gold coins, Lep
He
decides
can
to
do
kill
what?
him with a pogo stick. Yep,
With a pogo
kill,
stick?
accompanied by the leprechaun
That's
singing
unique.
a little ditty.
This old lep, he played one, he played pogo on his lump.
Wait, why is Joe's face all bloody? Lep's just bouncing around on his chest. In any
And that's
case,
really
it kills
tough
him,
to do
giving the
with a pogo
leprechaun
stick.
another kill, as well as another pair of shoes to shine, because he's got a real compulsion to do that.
Why
it's almost as
does
strong
he
as his
shine a
compulsion to make
shoe?
shitty jokes.
He'll bounce back in no time.
Yeah, Lep's the kind of dude who's always DMing Freddy and Chucky and asking if they can hang. Lep comments that with one coin in his possession, he's got 99 more to find. Then he eyes a car
99
perfectly sized for his diminutive stature that he ends up driving down the road. Pretty fun, I guess, but no way that thing is street legal. So
No.
he ends up getting pulled over by a cop who just thinks Lep's a little kid in a mask, despite Lep claiming he's a 600-year-old leprechaun. Leprechaun scratches him in the face, which was originally
That's
the end
felony.
of the scene, but when the studio Trimark wanted to change this from a PG-13 comedy to a gorier R-rated horror, they
That's
added this whole
crazy to go
chase
from
sequence through the
PG-13 to
woods, which is
R.
completely uninventive and goes on for way too goddamn long. It ends after Lep uses his magic to bounce all over the place before eventually appearing right on top of the cop's shoulders, where he breaks his neck to kill the poor guy. Let's check he's fully dead, Lep. Yep, looks pretty be dead. Good job, dude. At a diner, Tori and Nate are having more culture.
Does he ever wear sleeves?
What I wanted was a watercress salad and an Evian water, but they don't have that.
An Evian
water? How much it sucks that her dad has to stay overnight in the hospital. That means no one's back at the O'Grady house.
I don't think I've ever had
Leprechaun gets there and starts going all finders keepers on the place as he looks for his gold. But dude doesn't know how to keep his eye on the prize. He keeps getting distracted. First by a box of off-brand cereal called Lucky Clovers that apparently taste like shit. Yeah, no
Aren't
kidding.
They old? They're
Clovers are for pies, not breakfast cereal. And then by a collection of shoes that Lep just needs to polish, man. Dude's got a bigger shoe fetish than Jerry Brutos. What up, my hono? Gang gets back to the farmhouse and finds everything in disarray, except for the nicely polished shoes.
Well, it could have been a bear.
That's such...
No, dude, it couldn't have. Bears
bear
don't
that polished
shoes. Why is everyone in this movie so stupid? Ozzy tries to point out that, hey, that leprechaun he keeps talking about wanted to shine his shoes, but they're still not buying it, and they get to cleaning the place up with one more snide, condescending remark from Nate.
You know how to work one of these, right?
God, dude, fuck off. A little bell noise eventually lures Nate outside.
What is that
trips
pink
into a trap, prompting the leprechaun to run out and reveal himself and talk shit all up in Nate's face. But then Nate just beats the shit out of the little dude with a flashlight. Leprechaun sucks, man. The others run outside to find Lep biting Nate in the leg, and then they all take turns just kind of beating the old boy with a sword.
Why is everybody just standing around him like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Movie villain attack ever. Lep's such a little shit. Alex gets the shotgun,
but he seems immortal.
Lep in the chest with it, giving them a minute to free Nate from the bear trap so he can just go ahead and shoot off blindly into a bush half a dozen times. What's up, man?
How do you not have visual?
Or something? With the phone line dead, the gang decides they need to take Nate into town to get help, but the truck won't start. Probably because there's a leprechaun in the hood. Or under
that
the hood.
That would do it
for a few movies yet. He busts out the windshield and manages to bite Ozzy's ear before Tori takes the cigarette lighter and burns Lep in the nose.
I remember those were
run
a
off
thing.
To the barn and retreat. He comes out again in another miniature vehicle. Where did this one come from? It looks like a fucking battle bot. He drives this little Lep
battle bots
into
are
the
so
side
sick.
Of the truck, somehow with enough force to flip it end over end. Lep chases the kids inside the house where they slam the door on his hand, cutting it off. But as we'll see, Lep is basically able to take unlimited amounts of damage, especially in the case of shotgun shells. So he just picks his hand up and runs away to reattach it off screen. Tori remembers that she has a strange alien device from the future.
My portable!
And uses it to call the police.
Where something's not a thing.
Where they're at and that they need help, but then the call cuts out.
The battery died.
Oh, you probably installed that new OS, huh? The sheriff of the town, who looks like he's got one foot in the grave and is racing through a pack of cigs to plant the other one just as deep, radios one of his officers to go check out the O'Grady place. But it turns out to be the cop that Lep killed, and now he's using his magic voice changer to ensure he won't have Johnny Law interfering with his hunt for gold. Tori patches everyone up.
What are the odds?
Continues to deny that it was a leprechaun out there. Ozzy lets slip that they found a bag of gold.
They're still not thinking it was a leprechaun?
So Tori pumps the shotgun and heads outside to fetch a pal of gold coins so they can return it to the leprechaun and he can stop being such a little shit to them. As soon as she gets it, Lep appears with some stunning special effects and takes the bag from her. What do you think, Lep? Does it pass the sniff test?
It smells like me gold.
I guess it does. Satisfied, he runs off to count his coins, surrounded by his collection of vehicles.
Is
I
he
think
fine?
Lep and Jay Leno would get along. He discovers that he's
Jay Leno's collection
the one in Ozzy's gut, so he attacks them, and we get the closest thing to Leprechaun versus Chucky we'll probably ever see. He plays Magic Peekaboo in the kitchen, disappearing and reappearing in different cabinets, like the little cat that he is, before he pops out of a drawer and sexually assaults Nate. Nate gets his revenge, though, when he answers one of Lep's shitty jokes with a hilariously blunt shotgun blast.
I'm right here, and I ain't no Santa Claus.
Oh, wow, I literally
Sit your ass down, fool. But, of course, he's still alive and manages to run away from the gang, leading them to do some more exhausting leprechaun hunting. I don't mean it's tiring for the characters. I'm saying the audience is exhausted by now if they're still watching this movie. There's some fun and games on a skateboard for a minute before Nate winds up shooting Lep again.
How many skateboard in his house? They didn't have, like, kids in that house.
But, of course, Lep is able to escape once more, and this time he taunts them by calling on the dead phone line and imitating his idol, Freddy Krueger.
You need a hand.
Oh, yeah, that is
Ozzy
a Freddy
says
thing.
that Old Man O'Grady might be able to shed some light on this leprechaun issue. So they decide to send Tori to the retirement home he's been in since his stroke 10 years ago.
Oh, he's still alive?
The leprechaun long enough for her to get away. They toss a ton of shoes at him, and Lep's libido just takes over, man. He can't help but fuck those shoes. His pursuit of them is put on pause long enough for Tori to get away in her Jeep, while the others head back inside. It doesn't keep him distracted for long enough, though. And in an attempt to make sure Leprechaun uses every single wheeled transportation option available, he follows Tori to the retirement home on a pair of fucking roller skates. She gets there and finds the front desk guard conveniently asleep, so she's able to sneak through this abandoned-looking retirement home and find Mr. O'Grady in
I bet it
room.
smells
Wait a
great
minute, that's not Mr. O'Grady. It's a goddamn leprechaun. Oh shit! She runs away. And pursues
okay,
her
how did he know where to find him?
The camera sped up to help him along. She manages to get into the elevator safely, and that's where Mr. O'Grady's body crashes through the ceiling. He tells Tori that a fresh 4-leaf clover will do the trick for a little green friend.
Now you gotta go find one.
I don't know how his body happened to crash through the elevator ceiling.
That's
like
perfect
that
timing.
either, but whatever. Why bother trying to make your movie good now when there's only 15 minutes left. Tori heads back to the farmhouse and tries to find a 4-leaf clover, but Leprechaun shows up and gleefully chases her away.
Well, I like how he just lets her run away.
But then discovers the cop's corpse inside. That's bad. Lep shows up and she sticks him in the eye with a baton. That's good. But then he rips the door off the police car.
That's bad.
She go now. Sure, but not before she has to watch Lep rip the eye out of the cop's body to replace his own with. Well, hey, at least Lep's are made with interchangeable parts. Leprechaun gets shot for like the 27th time.
But he can like reattach his hand, but he can't
to the
like
Cloverfield to find their good luck charm. Tori manages to find one, and it's positively glowing with magic. When Lep attacks them again, he's able to run down Ozzy and slash his face a whole bunch with a shoe buckle. But Alex is here with a clover, a slingshot, and a precocious one-liner to save the day.
Is he gonna... Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
The shot goes straight into Lep's mouth and stumbles back against the well, where we get to witness the best-looking effects of the movie, aside from the Leprechaun's makeup done by Gabe Bartalos. That shit's great, and he deserves a lot of credit for it.
Especially for
melts into
early
a
90s.
green mess, and some more crazy special effects take over to transition him into an even nastier-looking beat-up leprechaun puppet thing.
All because he ate a 4-leaf clover.
And releases its energy with a bunch of glowing green lights. But like I said earlier, Lep's a huge fan of Chucky, so he comes back to do the whole keep coming back thing.
I want me door out.
I always come back.
I've watched Chucky. I know Chucky. Chucky was in kill counts of mine. Leprechaun, you're no Chucky. And to prove it,
also apparently making a new Alien movie. Saw the trailer for that in
theaters.
theaters.
The Leprechaun off with a match and a giant explosion. Yep, you've got an ancient magical demon force, and it's killed by some fire. Great. But Lep doesn't go on the count because some rhyming narration lets us know he considers this only a temporary setback.
I'll not rest till I have me gold.
Also, they really just blew it that well. They're making a new Alien movie, so my knowledge of the kill counts is like, whoa. Before I even knew it was Alien, I was like, wait, this might be Alien.
In the meantime, let's get to the numbers.
The bottle of Jameson's crazy.
Only 4 people died in Leprechaun, and half of them were neck snaps. What the fuck? Of the victims, 3 were men and only 1 was a woman, giving us a 75-25 gender split with more dead dudes. With a runtime of 91 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 22.75 minutes.
That's not a lot,
chainsaw for
but low budget.
To Joe. I don't like the bloody face thing, but killing a dude with a pogo stick is pretty creative.
Yes.
I'd wager it's the only kill most people even remember from this movie. Dull machete for lamest kill will be Dan O'Grady. Even though the 2 neck snaps were lame, his random appearance through the elevator ceiling
Dude, to have a death worse than that is crazy.
And that's it.
Like
Leprechaun was filmed in 1991 and released in 93, and despite it being worse than a real bad case of Shamrock Shake shits, it spawned 5 sequels and a remake. We'll look at the first sequel, Leprechaun 2, next week, but until then, I'm James.
Or in this video.
This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching my Kill Count for Leprechaun. Just in time
also
for the
Belko
Leprechaun Kill Count, we have a new pin. It's the Golden Chainsaw. Gold! I'm really excited over this one. It looks very cool. We got it done in a unique style that looks like antique gold, and it's the same logo that I use at the end of every Kill Count. So now you can be the coolest kill, if that's
the coolest.
Only $8 at deadmeatstore.com. Live today. I'll see you guys later. Be good people.
And come on. Okay. This one, I believe, is age restricted. It's Leprechaun 2, so if there's like something that's super gruesome, it might be blurred. Also, it could just be blurred just in general.
Today we're looking at Leprechaun 2, released in March of 1994, less than 6 months after they began production. This movie was rushed, and this movie was poor. Warwick Davis described the production as feeling more low budget than the first, so... not a great sign. Despite lacking the necessary resources to be a real movie, Leprechaun 2 expands out from the original in pretty much every way. Instead of being confined to a North Dakota farmhouse, we're in the City of Angels, baby, and like tree houses and shit. Yeah, because Lep 2 also gets way more fantastical than the first, adding a backstory and more lore to the Leprechaun, even if it doesn't always make sense. Unfortunately, this movie wound up being an even bigger tire fire than the first one. The production limitations show in a big way, and it somehow has characters even more unlikable than bratty Jennifer Aniston and muscly handyman Aladdin. Warwick Davis is still giving it his all, and there are a bunch of great character actors and cameos, but their enthusiasm can only go so far. Maybe the kills will make up for everything else? I mean, probably not, but let's get to them anyway.
Let's see. Oh, man.
The movie begins in Ireland, once upon a time. Can't you friggin' read? A peasantry man is running through the famous Irish forest, Griffith Park, and is stopped by a magic collar around his neck. What do you know? It's everybody's least favorite leprechaun taking his Ren Fair costume out for a spin. The dude, William O'Day, is apparently the leprechaun's slave, and his dirty attire gives this movie its one reference to Lep's shoe fetish from the original.
That's it?
Yep, that's it. No
that's
more
it?
fucking Leps in this one. Lep's excited because it's St. Patrick's Day, which is also his birthday, and he's turning 1,000, which is the day he claims a bride. Wait a minute, didn't you say you were 600 years old in the last one?
I'm 600 years old.
The Leprechaun's conditions for wifing up
but he was 1,000
his crush to sneeze
way
3
back
times
then.
without getting God blessed. And once he's a bachelor no more, William will be free of his
Is that why
I guess you
people
could
say
call
that?
this the emancipation.
I don't think that's it.
But Willy Boy finds himself in quite the pickle while he and Lep are pretending they're in an 80s sex comedy, because Lep reveals that his top seed wife is Will's daughter.
And we are to be related.
Oh God, Lep is your son-in-law? That guy's such a dick, though.
I'll be gentle with her on our wedding night.
Aw, see, yeah, he'd probably say shit like that at Thanksgiving. Leprechaun gets the allergens a-blowing, and it's 1, 2, 3 sneezes, you're out at the...
God bless you, my child.
Oh, null and void. Marriage stolen right out from under Lep's nasty nose.
Wow.
So that Gesundheist, Lep lifts Will in the air and annoys him.
But couldn't he just do it without him there?
You thought you could outsmart me, the genius of Killarney.
Nobody calls him that, Lep. He also
magic
says that in 1,000
like
years, he's gonna wipe up a descendant of Will's as revenge. Then he breaks Will's neck, meaning as of now, Leprechaun has killed 3 people out of 5 by breaking their necks. That's not a horror movie villain, it's an amateur chiropractor. Will's daughter finds his body and leads us into the title card with the most insane scream I've ever seen.
Oh!
This
it's
is
like
the
she
face
just stepped
of a
on a
woman
Lego.
looked into the eyes of oblivion. The opening credits play over an Ancestry.com page on Will's lady descendants. My favorite detail is definitely that as soon as they got to the US, they became flappers. That's dope. And the last is this chick, Bridget, who lives in Los Angeles and is just the worst. She's dating Cody, this 90s boy who's currently trying to sell a haunted tour of the city to a killer ice cream man and Lucy from Twin Peaks. She's super into it, but he's more skeptical.
I am not scared. You can wait for her at this really cute ice cream parlor right down the block.
Hey, I came to Hollywood to escape work, kid.
Back
Loads
when
up
people
his
would like
passengers and
go
then just
to
fucking
Hollywood.
leaves them in the hearse while he walks down the street with his shitty girlfriend, and while he's in this apartment looking for the driver. This is less professional than the haunted tour in Hatchet. The driver he's looking for is his drunk uncle and legal guardian, Mortimer. And Drunkle Morty is also the fucking worst. Actor Sandy Barron is sure giving it his all, but the stock character he's playing, the glad-handing, always scamming drunk guy, is always just so grating.
Wait, he's a
Morty's
driver and he's
shtick is
drinking.
that he's
That's
always trying
not.
to sell
Don't do
shares
that.
of his hearse tours.
You can turn death into dollars.
Oh, hey, that's my business model, too. Also, his name is Morty, but he acts way more like a Rick. By which I mean this dude is one self-destructive alcoholic.
I am as dry as can be.
Oh, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, he's about as dry as Sally Hawkins swimming with the sexy fish man. So Cody realizes he'll have to give the tour himself, which is going to delay his go-kart date with Bridget. And she is pissed about it. What, you mad this dude's on the grind
that
now?
is not a good
You
look.
just get mad at his shitty evil laugh. She's so pissy that she even sabotages this tour, even though it's his goddamn job.
You gave me the wrong card.
Oh, did I?
Grow the fuck up, Bridget. Plans change. That's life. Cody stops the tour at the go-kart place, where Bridget huffs inside
Wait, was that like a
and immediately
Hardee's?
starts flirting with the guy who works there, Ian, as a way to get back at Cody for, again, maintaining his source of income. Ian's work ethic
I know,
is much
right?
more her speed.
Let's get down to the track.
Don't you have to work?
Not if you're here. I can get someone to cover for me.
Clearly this guy is unreliable and flaky. Have higher standards, Bridget. Meanwhile, a vagrant is making himself at home next to a solid-looking tree. But careful, guy. It looks like that tree came from Killarney. And I heard that place has a real obnoxious self-styled genius. The trip across the pond must have left the street thirsty as hell, as it downs this dude's liquor like it's racing to win Edward 40 hands. The tree trunk cracks open, and Leprechaun makes his big entrance into the modern era, drinking tree back
So
off
is the
from that
first
liquor
one
bottle.
Splendid
That has nothing to do with.
whiskey is Irish whiskey.
I guess Lep's a nationalist. The vagrant's gold tooth catches the eye of nasty Leppy Boy, who goes to claim it as his own.
But what happened to the well?
You may feel some pain. 'Tis a pity I forgot me Novocaine.
Not sure he would know what Novocaine is, but he
what
rips
a
out
riddle.
the tooth with sadistic glee. Real proud of himself there. And even gives the poor homeless dude a Canadian blend rinse before he lets him run off into the night. Then he strolls into town and uses a magic stick to point him in the direction of his bride. He also puts in a real effort to meet his shitty one-liner quota after ripping this dude's finger off for his gold ring.
Finger licking good.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? That's what I thought you said.
Okay,
Cody listens to some royalty-free emo music while flipping through pictures of him and Bridget together.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. That's how I would describe that, actually. That's perfect, James.
Her and Ian in his TV? What?
Bridget?
Whatever, at least that music stopped. Here, let's watch Morty be a shit some more.
31 minutes, it's free.
Oh, yeah, they stopped doing
Man, I
that.
hate that guy. Cody must hate him too, because before the scene can have any point to it at all, he pieces out to go win back Bridget. Doesn't look like he has to worry about Ian, though, because after Bridget wants to call it a night, Ian tries to leverage some chili dogs for a beach or something.
I took the whole night off for you. And what about those chili dogs?
His whiny nice guy act wins him an elbow to the gut, and things only get worse for him when he suddenly hears Bridget calling him back into the garage with a suspiciously magical voice.
Maybe I could make it up to you?
After taking off her body double's top, Bridget invites Ian to go to town. But Lep's in the corner watching, and I don't think it's because he's a perv. I mean, he's totally a perv.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
The reason he's
Look at
watching
him.
is because Ian's under a spell. See, that's not Bridget. It's a crazy double spinning blade of death. And thus Ian is killed in a motorboating accident. Although we don't get to see it on screen because, you know, budget. Instead, we just get a silhouette and a blood splatter. I don't know, maybe a Lep one-liner will make it better?
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
No, now it's worse. Leprechaun always makes stuff worse. Cody gets to Bridget's house and we're treated to some of the room-level acting.
This is a surprise.
And
I can never stay mad at you.
should I be listening to
what
your
is that
words
face?
or your face?
Yeah, the
Your
face does
looks
not
pretty
sell
mad,
it.
Dude. Lep crawls in the window and gets straight to work fixing up nasal irritants. He gets 1 sneeze, 2 sneeze, and on 3 sneeze, Cody tries to God bless her, only to get a phone cord magically wrapped around his neck. Lep reveals himself, earning another insane
you should definitely do that for the first,
Cody
second,
down with some
and
pots
third.
and pans. Haha, pothead. Then he throws a golden collar around Bridget's neck and drags her over to him so he can kiss the bride. Bridget spills his pot of gold and a single coin rolls into Cody's hand. Lep disappears with the last and leaves Cody screaming like a mist monster's got him. Dude, you've got a gold coin and Lep got rid of Bridget. That's a double win. Leprechaun takes Bridget
Just a single
to his
gold
Lost Boys
coin now?
treehouse crib. I mean the Peter Pan Lost Boys, not the Corey Haim Lost Boys.
It's awful.
Actually, Bridget, this place is pretty dope. He rolls her up into a little Bridget burrito and gives her a golden shower while talking about all the nasty Lep babies.
I don't think that's what that means.
When he suddenly realizes that he's missing a shilling.
I must have it back.
Oh, he won the mood-swinging husband's huh? Before he leaves to find it, he gives Bridget a very drooly kiss and leaves her a sexy red dress. Anything for his princess.
But she's in a
To convince
burrito.
Morty that a leprechaun is behind all this, Cody shows his drunkle the gold coin. So they look up leprechauns in their paper-based Wikipedia-like artifact and learn all sorts of shit that I'm sure we already know from the first one.
Both leprechauns and fairies can only be harmed by wrought iron.
Wait, I'm sorry. You mean 4-leaf clovers, right? Before they can get a fact check on that, Lep shows up and bitch smacks Morty to the ground. In turn, Morty knocks a bookshelf over on the little man. Then he and Cody climb out onto the fire escape. Lep tries to follow, only to get stopped by the bars on the window. What? That wrought iron thing was real?
See what happened when he touched the bars?
Rod iron or raw iron?
Why is everyone acting like that's a normal thing for leprechauns? Cody and Morty go to the bar, and in the bathroom, Cody runs into Tony Cox.
Yo, man, want me go?
I don't know if Mr. Cox was experimenting with any substances that day, or if director Flender told him his character was an alien trying to be human, but this performance is just fucking bizarre.
Is he just supposed to
Cody
be
takes
like
a chocolate gold coin from
acting
him
like
and runs
he's
away,
a leprechaun?
surely rattled by the extraterrestrial he just encountered. Cody gets back to the bar where the leprechaun is waiting for him and Morty.
Have I mentioned that I want me gold?
Oh, yeah, man, only like 40 times in the past.
Yeah, he's kind of
Morty's
obsessed
big idea
with
to
gold.
get the Lep off their case is to challenge him to a drinking contest, which the leprechaun accepts.
Drink what you want. Drink what you're able. If you're drinking with me, you'll be under the table.
Seems to me with that body mass, he's just asking for alcoholic leprechaun.
Literally.
Bottoms up, I guess. To be fair to Morty, this does get the leprechaun drunk AF. But at least he's still acting more normal than Tony Cox.
You're my hero, homie.
The guy.
I'm 5,000.
Seriously, what is up with that guy? Warwick Davis acting like a drunk leprechaun is actually legit funny, up to and including his failed attempt to float an ashtray over to use as a weapon. But when that fails, he's able to resort to manual head smashing and runs away. Meanwhile, Bridget's been trying to escape captivity, but keeps getting foiled by magic and camera tricks. She stumbles upon a box hidden in the dirt floor, and when she opens it, she finds a couple of skunk Guinnesses and a whole bunch of other gaudy golden shit. She does get excited over an all.
Can't say I've ever had Guinness.
Wedding present for you when you get home.
Well, he is a shoemaker by trade, so that's actually a very thoughtful gift, Bridget. Good job. Drunk Lep is trying to sober up with black coffee,
but isn't it his own
Michael
thing?
McDonald wants him to get the fuck out so he can close up shop, thinking Lep is just some guy in a costume for St. Patrick's Day.
No.
Very good, we have a method actor.
I think Michael McDonald just gave the best performance in the entire franchise.
Boom, gotcha.
Yeah, you did, dude. But Lep always thought Mad TV was garbage, so he attacks the
Mad
barista,
TV?
hitting his hands to the bar with some flatware, and then turns the steamer against him, blowing it at his face and melting his skin while he screams
I don't
his
think they
lungs
get
out.
that
It's
hot.
actually a decently horrifying death, kind of reminiscent of the pogo stick
Now
one in the
that
original.
might be
Rick and Morty bring him to the
blurred.
go-kart office since it's the
Did they say
only other
400
location
horsepower
you've seen
Miata?
recently,
I
and
beg
they
your
break open
finest
the wrought
pardon.
iron
What?
safe to use as a leprechaun trap. Morty,
Somebody
of
LS
course,
swapped
tries to be
Miata.
sleazy about it, the piece of shit. Go contribute something to society, man. He goes outside to get the hearse, where he's cuffed by a security guard since
Why?
they triggered a silent alarm. But Morty's able to somehow talk his way out of it,
How?
and then somehow
How do you-
knock the dude out with a single weak-looking punch. Justice will be served, though, because Lep shows up and starts wailing on Morty with his cane like he's Andrew Jackson beating down a would-be assassin. Cody stops the attack by showing that he has a gold coin, which tricks Lep into leaping through the doggy flap of the door, right into the wrought iron safe that he's then locked inside of. The iron
didn't go through the glass?
hurting the little fucker every time he touches it. Morty one-ups himself in the quest to be the world's most repugnant human being by locking Cody in the broom closet so he can try to extort the leprechaun. Leprechaun.
For more gold?
You're caught. You owe me 3 wishes.
Oh,
that's
geez,
not a genie.
This one up here.
It's a leprechaun, not a genie.
To have the leprechaun's gold. In a classic fairy tale twist, the Lep makes good on his wish in a painful way. The pot of gold materializes inside Morty's gut, and Lep tells him the only way he can help him is if he lets him out of the safe.
Do you wish me out of the safe?
Yes.
You'll have to open the door. It's wrought iron.
So he does.
Yeah.
Like, what else are you gonna do with a pot belly full of gold?
Your second wish has been granted.
Morty then fails to learn his lesson and is once again fatally non-specific when he makes his third wish.
I wish you to get it out of me.
Lep just uses his nasty claws to tear into Morty's gut and remove the pot of gold, fulfilling that third wish and disappearing from the crime scene. Hey, you know what though? I wished for Morty to not be in this movie a half hour ago, and it looks like Lep delivered, so I've got no complaints.
They're only an hour and 7 minutes into it.
Assumes he murdered his drunkle, but outside the go-kart office, Lep stops the arrest with another customized death card. This one's way more souped up than his barnyard battle bot from the first movie. Yo, Lep fucking loves
literally a go-kart
around. They need to put him in the next Mario Kart.
That is a go-kart.
The cop tries to shoot him down, but Lep sideswipes his leg out instead, then runs the dude over with a crash zoom in on his face. The kill is entirely off screen and only confirmed by the crunch we hear. Budget. For some reason though,
what is the crunch? I want to hear it.
Cody, he goes right through him. Turns out he can't hurt him while Cody has the gold coin. Because Leprechaun movies are basically Calvin Ball and just make up rules on the spot.
Apparently, there's no.
Cody arms himself.
Not the no clover.
You had your iron today?
Ugh. Back in his Lep cave, our verdant villain finds Bridget wearing the red dress he left her and trying to be all sexy. She wants to seduce this leprechaun as part of her master plan to stab him with that awl, which does absolutely nothing and pretty much negates her entire little captivity. Cool. Cody shows up to rescue his damsel in distress, but is attacked by homemade haunted maze decorations like bright green bugs, spooky skeleton bones.
Why are they that color?
That one, just thorns? A bunch of thorns? When he's finally able to locate Bridget, Lep appears in the lamest way imaginable.
Do what?
Why were you in a terracotta egg, dude? Bridget uses the broken awl to pick her way out of the collar, which she throws at Lep to reveal his newly bald head. Definitely had hair in the original. Cody and Bridget try to escape through every cave tunnel they can find, but they're stuck in a spatial loop, kind of like that scene from Dream Master, only
Dream Master. That was a couple
and after they do reunite, Bridget starts sounding like a real Neville Chamberlain, talking about giving the Lep what he wants and leaving the gold coin behind for him. When she makes out with our sexually repressed protagonist, he seemingly gives in and gives her the coin. But hate to tell you, dog, you just made out with a leprechaun.
You lose.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He just kissed me, fat boy Jeff. With his powers restored by the final gold coin, Lep is able to use his magic and stop Cody from attacking him with a wrought iron bar.
Okay.
Wait, really?
I don't know. Is that a question?
It's over? It's really over?
Is the movie
I
over?
Guess you're asking those things. But Cody pops up very nice and sticks the Lep with his wrought iron rod. Turns out the coin he gave him was chocolate, a plan inspired by one
because you can get hurt.
Cox. The wrought iron gets Lep twitching like the first drunk relative on a wedding reception dance floor. How would you even know that? Oh,
yeah, why would you know that?
Bridget. Yeah, that little leprechaun just blew the fuck up.
Also,
unlike the first movie, there's no narration at the end to imply he's still alive in some state.
It's only an hour and 21 minutes long.
The movie ends with Cody getting rid of the gold coin
Why?
and kissing the real Bridget.
That's it's immunity.
He's always gonna be wondering if that's a Lep he's swapping spit with. With the leprechaun counting this time, did the sequel manage to surpass the original in kills? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Because 6 is bigger than... He stepped on a Lego.
6 people died in Leprechaun 2, so I guess it beat out the first one, whether you include Lep or not. All 6 of the victims were male, although one was a leprechaun. So let's have a little green wedge in the pie chart.
Oh, nice.
That's fun.
Just that a little bit of,
runtime of 85 minutes, that gives us a kill on average every
14.17
minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Michael McDonald. Ian's death was memorable, but it was off screen. The steamer kill had the best effects of the movie. Plus, you know I love it when people are killed in ways that relate to their occupations. Doll Machete for Lane's kill goes to William O'Day.
That might be the reason why this video is age-restricted.
Kills with another broken neck. Lep, you're freaking magical. You need to find more fun ways to
I know, he's a
and that's it.
1,000-year-old leprechaun.
Came out in 1994, a year after the original was released, and proved to be such a disappointment at the box office that the remaining
these were in theaters.
What? Releases. Shame, since Leprechaun 3 is way better than this one. We'll look at that next week.
Yep. Patrons get a day early. Couldn't do this without them. I read all your comments. Leave them down below.
Thank a couple of patrons like Frank Lowe and SHG Cakes. Leprechaun 2 is one of the worst movies.
And like I said, I might
but it's funny watching them
put them all together and make a super long video.
I
might try that.
A lot of the things they were talking about reminded me of real low budget student films I made in college. So you know what? Props to them for getting this thing done on such a low budget and in like 5 months. All right, see you later.
that is really impressive. All right, here we go with this. Also, if anything ever has to be blurred, that would be because of copyright.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Leprechaun 3, released in 1995.
I was born in 97.
7 of your favorite horror series. Aren't you so pumped we're doing this? Like literally every other Leprechaun.
Apparently James eventually went on to
came before it. But at least
like
part 3 has the decency to put Leprechaun in the middle of Las Vegas instead of a farmhouse or the outskirts of LA. The lights and decadence of Sin City are a perfect backdrop for Lep to run around being a little shit. Leprechaun 3 was the first of the series to be released direct-to-video after Lep 2 failed at the box office obviously. Luckily, producer Jeff Jobber had a ball on a budget, y'all, and shot most of the movie in the abandoned Ambassador Hotel, with a single night shoot in Vegas providing all the scenes on the strip. The result is a movie that doesn't feel any cheaper than the second one. And it's also much more aware of itself as a comedy, since director Brian Trenchard Smith and writer David Dubas wanted to focus on that. The humor is handled deftly by a lot of the cast, especially Warwick Davis, whose name I've apparently been mispronouncing my whole life, so sorry about that. It also has some of the most memorable kills of the series, so let's get to it.
Oh, how many? It has to be more, right?
The movie begins with 2 minutes of pictureless credits. What the fuck?
2 minutes?
When they can finally afford to show some footage, it's Las Vegas. Ooh, exciting. What famous location on the strip are we going to here? The Pawn Place? Okay. Is that the one with the roller coaster on the roof? No roller coaster, but it does have a computer-savvy owner named Gupta. Tonight, it's also got an anxious customer who is all kinds of beat up, man. What's he got there? A missing leg? An eye patch? A hook?
Vegas has changed a lot since then.
Restaurant chain Pronto. To get money for his undoubtedly fried business
30 years ago.
He's pawning off a frozen leprechaun, but it sounds like it comes with rules, like a gremlin.
Don't touch the medallion.
Gupta gives him a cool $20 for it.
$20 for that?
In my opinion. That sculpture would be dope to put outside your bathroom with a tray of mints. Gupta's more interested in that medallion, though. So despite the seaman's warning, he removes it from the left and examines with a bright science light. Behind him, the statue thaws out into a little shit and disappears, leaving a pot of gold coins behind that Gupta finds and gives the Aussie test of authenticity to.
That's not how that works.
Bites off an ear as per usual and makes a mildly racist joke about the taste. Oh, Lep, you're not meant for this modern world. But apparently it's rhyme time.
He didn't even say.
Leprechaun, me lad, and you're a greedy thief. For trying to steal me gold, I'll be giving you some grief.
And time for a single reference to a shoe fucking past.
Nice leather. I appreciate a good pair of shoes.
But this time, Lep's more interested in the gooey flesh center within the shoe. So he bites Gupta's toe off while he just kind of lies there and doesn't really do anything.
Why are you not fighting back?
That is until he discovers the medallion can ward off the leprechaun. Another new development to the lore.
How are you going to explain this
that we'll actually see return in future movies? So Lep takes his gold and runs into the shop's
basement. No gold fell out
for whatever reason, not noticing that he's dropped a gold coin on the ground until later when he's doing an AU audit.
I'm 1 shilling short!
He puts his stash of 99 coins in a safe.
In a safe? Is that safe not made out of iron?
On a CD-ROM encyclopedia because the Leprechaun series has finally entered the Encarta era. It lays out the Lep's deal for this movie. His power's tied to his gold. He can grant a single wish for every shilling someone possesses. He likes potatoes. Okay, great. Gupta takes a handgun and goes for a Lep hunt in the basement.
I mean, it is
Vegas. But of course, Lep pulls some magical chicanery, including blowing up the gun with his finger like a Looney Tune. Luckily, Gupta acts fast.
It's a revolver. It's not going to do that.
Vomit Shamrock Shake and run away. He locks him back in the basement, and what the fuck? How is Lep locked in a basement? He's magic. Also, focus. Driving through Vegas is half man, half mouse Scott, and when he sees this chick Tammy hitchhiking in the road, he pulls over, almost hitting her in the process, so he can get a good long gape in. He agrees to give her a ride.
Why is he just staring at her
like he's on his way to his freshman year of college in California, and he's just stopping through Vegas. Wonder to gee gosh golly see what it's like. He takes Tammy to the casino
in the 90s,
the Lucky Shamrock, and
I'll take a day trip to Vegas
because it'll be an adventure. She agrees to it as long as he doesn't gamble, since he's underage.
I was there for 11 hours.
Back to Fazio. Wait, what's Fazio?
Fazio is a mediocre magician who couldn't pull a rabbit out of a pet store. But it pays the bills.
Oh, okay. I thought Fazio was just bad acting. Nah, Fazio's the slick John Stamos wannabe, and as he practices his calisthenics, he makes fun of his casino co-worker Loretta for being old. It really sticks with her, too. She's talking about dreams of plastic surgery, as if Caroline Williams wasn't still beautiful enough to humble a chainsaw. If she's good enough for Leatherface, she's good enough for you,
86?
Fazio. Tammy shows up in her Playboy Bunny outfit that Fazio gets off on, and he starts talking about a new fire trick that he wants to try that night.
The Burning Beauty!
Only he really sucks at his job, so he's just burning the casino down, which owner Mitch isn't really happy about. Mitch is definitely happy to get creepy.
Insurance probably hates him.
You keep playing hard to get.
Focus! Also stop. Inside the casino, Scott is positively creaming himself at the sights and sounds of gambling. He's so inspired that he wants to cash in his money for tuition and housing that, his parents just cut him a single fucking check for? Even though he's obviously underage, Mitch lets it slip because of money. I just wanted to do Mr. Krabs again. Looks like Mitch could use that money since he's getting harangued by this dude Art in his Hawaiian shirted talented Rocky Horror hitman, Tony.
You pay Arthur the money you owe him, or I will kill you.
These two are open source coded gay characters, and also probably the funniest part of the movie.
How's 10 o'clock for you?
10 o'clock. Wait, when do you take your break?
9:30.
9:30, 9:45.
You take a break and then
make back by 10? Okay, 10. That's good.
Scott takes his fat stacks to Loretta's
That's
table,
23,000 in chips.
loses both his money and
I
his
went to
shit.
college for 5 days and then left.
I've made my mistake. They show Loretta cheating with a little button magnet thing, but seriously, that casino would get shut down so fast with some rinky-dink carnival cheat like that. But we shouldn't be surprised. Look at the quality of this place. Fazio's show consists mostly of hip gyrations, but at least actor John DeVita does some solid.
Is there at least like music playing?
As Fazio woos you with wonder, you may be forgiven for forgetting that this is a Leprechaun movie. But don't you worry, it definitely is. See, there's our lab.
Went January 2021.
There was an old man of Madras whose balls were made
$86 round trip flight.
So in stormy weather, they both clanged together and sparks flew out of his ass.
Yeah, that's Lep. He uses his powers to get the medallion away from Gupta and then comes at him with his little cane, beating him with that and a baseball bat.
Why is he still there? Why would he not leave?
Before Gupta gives it up, though, Lep strangles him with a phone cord. Same thing he did to Cody in the second movie, only this time he goes all the way and kills Gupta. Sorry he's dead, but can we please get out of this fucking pawn shop
Yeah,
now?
like why are we
Scott
here?
loses all his tuition and housing money. Loretta encourages him to go sell his watch at the pawn shop so he can lose more money.
What is that watch?
He goes there and finds Gupta dead on the ground, then uses the murder
looks like a
weapon to call
two-tone.
the police and try real hard at acting.
What is the watch?
I'm in a pawn shop across the street from the Lucky Shamrock Casino.
Jubilee bracelet?
Keep trying, I guess, kid. Since that cereal box software about leprechauns is still going, Scott sees the summary saying that without its gold, a leprechaun
probably
is so
like a
weak
date
he can get beat by the Monty Python.
That's my guess.
And that a shilling entitles a person to a wish. Hey, what do you know? There's a shilling on the keyboard. Scott picks it up and gives the wish thing a shot.
I wish I was back at the casino on a winning streak.
He disappears right before Lep can ask him a question and finds him exactly where he wished for.
Nobody notices that he just appeared?
Since his bets are being magically directed by the gold shilling, an advantage Loretta notices, especially when it defies her cheating system and breaks it. Mitch witnesses all this, but he needs that underage cash. So he gives Scott a room at the hotel with the hope that he'll lose the money gambling later. Tammy runs into
they
Scott,
want you to be there for as long as possible because the rule of big numbers.
That he cash out and get out of town. But Scott doesn't want to leave.
What is she wearing? Also watch on her
that guy.
right hand.
Holy shit, dude. Zip it back up. You just met this chick.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
Oh my god.
See, now that's a realistic reaction. She tells him to wait in his room while she does another show and that they can talk later. Leprechaun finally gets out of that damn pawn shop and strolls onto the Vegas Strip. It really feels like he's found a proper home here.
He seems to love it.
Lovely golden palaces, completely full of riches. I'll rip them off and rob them blind, those dirty sons of bitches.
See, now that's a fun, campy villain. I like this Leprechaun.
We're rhyming. Is this the best movie in the franchise?
Since this is a Vegas movie, we get our obligatory scene with an Elvis impersonator, giving Lep a chance to stretch his voice.
The second one or third one we got Vegas.
Thank you very much.
Hey man, you do that pretty good.
Yeah, go ahead and be proud.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the few powers you've kept consistent. Okay, I mean, maybe don't be that
voice
proud. That's
imitation.
Inside the casino, Lep runs into Fazio, who he plays a trick on by making green shit appear in his hand, even though it just kind of looks like a pile of steaming squam. Then Lep swaps out magical crap for magical craps and has himself a good time throwing dice. Not even Art and the Muscle can stop him. He just turns that bodyguard into a slot machine.
Look out, Vegas. I'm taking over.
By playing craps.
I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, that's what I thought you said. Fazio washes his hands and finds Loretta, who tells him about Scott's casino winnings and lucky gold coin. They immediately start planning an OJ-style burglary.
Oh, no.
What's his room number?
Yeah, I know.
Why did they need to laugh like that?
Teenager. Fazio doesn't find
third
the
movie
path,
we go in
he does
Vegas.
grab the coin
Fourth movie we
right
go to
as Scott
space
discovers him in
because
his room.
that's the
Then
next
Fazio
step,
really
right?
does pull a late stage OJ. Shit, man, that's assault. At least he sticks the fancy smoky exit.
Okay, that makes
Lep
a scene.
winds up in the room next, having sniffed out the shilling, and flies through the air to bite Scott's arm. After a knife stab to the forehead, there's a whole bunch of this nasty, thick green Lep blood going everywhere, including onto Scott's arm where it burns through the skin. Lep gets launched out a window, but remember, he's pretty much indestructible, always able to heal himself through the power of shitty jokes.
Next time, I'll take the elevator.
I'd be much more concerned about Scott, who, oh my god, is turning into a werewolf? Or
a werewolf or a leprechaun? Or
look at him.
concern?
I mean, yeah, I guess he's eating potatoes like that CD-ROM said.
I've never eaten
and
like
he's
a whole
taking that shit
potato
to the
like
next
that.
level with the potato buffet. Plus,
like a
he's
baked
speaking
potato?
in a bad
Never.
Irish accent.
There once was a lady of Tut whose tastes grew perverted and rotten. She cared not for steaks or for pastries and cakes, but lived upon penis au gratin.
You got me. That sounds just like our Leppy boy. Downstairs, Fazio gives Loretta the coin and tells her to sell it, not believing that it's magic. Then Mitch shows up and takes it from her since she lost all that house money to Scott. They somehow wind up talking about
how
Tammy,
small
and Mitch
of a
says he
business
wishes
is
he
a
could bang
casino?
her, so a spell
Yeah.
overcomes Tammy, and she immediately runs to him to talk in a disgusting baby voice.
I want you more more than any man I've ever known.
He gets one wish,
and
and that's what he uses.
Sexy? I kind of want to drop you off at daycare right now. This nasty turn of events proves to Loretta that the coin fulfills wishes. So while Tammy continues her infantile seduction act,
oh, Richie, I like my lovin' the same.
Is she gonna turn into a leprechaun?
I like my man tough.
Which also includes this weird hitting in the face gag for a minute. Loretta sneaks into Mitch's room and steals the gold coin back from him. This breaks the spell on Tammy right in the middle of her striptease.
Mitch?
Yeah, that's actually some solid acting of that situation. She
just coming to the realization what's going on.
Tammy forcefully runs away from Mitch, getting fired by him
also
on
that
the way
room
out. This whole incident made Mitch forget about a meeting with Art and Tony, who killed the time talking about underwear.
How do you want to hang?
Loose. I want to be comfortable.
I like a little support.
Mitch probably won't be joining them anytime soon, though.
The kid about to be the
finds his way into his hotel room and turns on some personalized porn.
Take a look at these.
Oh no.
You know, we laugh at this, but there's probably already personalized VR porn out there. Leprechaun movies are forward thinking, yo. They're so futuristic,
this video's
they
old,
just
so
skip
probably.
the VR phase and get right into materialized sex.
I'm sorry, is he just gonna get pulled to the TV
like I know
Freddy
you
Krueger?
want what's on my mind. Here I come, as Lep plays dress up on the TV screen as a sleazy TV attorney, a sleazy televangelist, and a sleazy fortune teller.
Oh,
remember
with a Ouija board.
After his potato thaw,
A fortune teller with a Ouija board.
crying from her incident with Mitch, and he swears to be her white knight and avenger. So they head back upstairs for some confrontation. But they don't got to worry about it. Lep's on the case, because TV Lady is now Robot Lady.
Whoa.
And despite the persistence of her breasts,
oh no, it's the mimic from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Leprechaun comes out to taunt Mitch as the deconstructed fembot sparks and blows up in Mitch's lap, giving us one of the most unique kills you could ask for. I wonder, do androids dream of electric sheepskin condoms? Mitch is left burnt up on the bed when Scott and Tammy get to him. Leprechaun jumps out to them, and Tammy gives the best reaction to the little shit I've ever heard.
What does she say?
Who are you?
It's fucking amazing. Who are you?
That's
tosses something
fair
at Lep
when you
and knocks
see
him down.
a real life leprechaun.
Mess, right as Art and Tony
these
show
guys,
up.
hi.
What the hell's going on here?
Tony tries to recommend a dermatologist
Are they gonna...
to Lep, but the recommendation is met with the end of his cane stabbing
out
I
thought they were gonna be friends.
With a line about beauty being in the eye of the beholder. Then Lep takes the same cane to Art and beats him down to the floor. Dude, you're a magical fucking leprechaun and you're just beating people with a cane like Charles Sumner. I mean, fucking do something! Also, this apparently kills these guys since they stop moving and we never see them again. According to the common law of slasher films, that means they're dead. Lep smells
Does Leprechaun ever get like a name other than just Leprechaun?
Get it, David. The shilling stench is coming from Loretta as she wishes to be young and beautiful again. It works for her, but then she fucks up and goes gloating about it to Fazio. When he sees the coin's magic works, he steals it from her and locks her behind in the dressing room. She tries to comfort herself with some quality beer time, then ugly-ass Leprechaun ruins the view and delivers one of his most infamous limerick lead-ins to a kill ever.
Your boobs are big, your butt is small, but still you're in for quite a fall. What didn't you hear?
Quite a fall?
Bigger
What?
is good, but jumbo is dear. I'll give you boobs that come out to here.
Again, awful fucking
oh God.
He follows through on his promise. He blows her up and Botoxes her all over the place until
Oh,
she winds up looking like
God, what is happening?
With the duck. She gets so inflated that she can't even fit through the doorway. And when Leprechaun pulls out an umbrella, you know what's in store.
No.
Yep, Loretta bursts into pieces, a victim of her own vanity and the magical murder abilities of one
I guess.
little shit. On the run from Lep, Tammy sees that Scott is
also, we've already
some
tied the amount of human kills from
they head to the pawn shop
second
where it
movie.
all began in order to find some answers. The Windows 93 there is still helpfully playing that Lep CD, and it says that if you destroy the gold, you destroy the Lep.
Then you go to
Also,
sleep.
looks like Scott's repelled by the medallion, same as the Lep man was. They head into the basement where not even the screenwriter knows what they're doing.
What exactly are we looking for?
A decent movie? Eventually, Scott is drawn to the golden safe and uses his newfound Lep powers to open it up. But when Tammy wants to destroy it, Scott says no and leps out.
Don't take a leprechaun's gold. Not if you
Okay,
want to
but
live.
what happened?
Right, but
Is he
Tammy
just going to
doesn't
turn into a
like that
leprechaun?
Roleplay shit, and when Lep shows
Maybe
up,
he's supposed to be
neither
like a
does he.
werewolf.
2 leprechauns.
Maybe that was
1 too
popular back
many.
then.
Oh yeah? How about 7? Scott tries to wish
Because
Lep to
there's
the
7
bottom
movies.
of the ocean, but I guess it doesn't work that way. Lep gets mad at him and gives another infamous couplet.
For pulling this trick, I'll jump off your dick.
He misses though, and after an all-star pitch from Tammy, they're able to get away from him. Tammy wisely grabbing the medallion on her way out.
Very
Tammy takes
smart.
Scott to
Smartest
the
character in the
hospital, where
movie.
The doctors examine him to show us the gross-looking skin effects going on down there. Thanks for the continued great makeup work, Gabe Bartalos. But don't look now, Lep's at the hospital too.
Nobody's questioning this?
Disguised as the doctor. You know what? I actually got nothing to say about that, but I will commend the sharp social commentary.
Now listen to me. This may mean the difference between living and dying.
Do you have health insurance?
Ooh, hurts that it's still relevant 23 years later. Scott's blood is
It's still
green,
relevant,
brain scan is
29
bulging
years
Clovers,
later.
And his EKG reading is little leprechaun brain. Why wasn't the fuck you, Clovers, the third joke in that set? Come on. For whatever reason, Tammy seeks help in the morgue.
Why?
To find the mortician has joined his subjects in death, having been stabbed in the
he's
chest
already
with
in
a
the right
variety of
place.
utensils by that nasty nasty Leppy boy. Speaking of which, he shows up and straps Tammy to a gurney. How will Scott rescue the Playboy bunny in distress? Better wake up and use those Lep powers to have a wacky hijinks-filled escape from the greedy doctors and nurses who were gonna steal the money they found in his jacket. And so Scott is able to burst in on the Leprechaun to save that chick he met a few hours ago.
There are so many like different parts of this plot going on.
Apparently harmless fire around Scott who tells him Fazio has his coin. Go fucking bug him about it. Lep pieces out to go do that in a wonderfully Leppy way. Fazio, of course, wished on the coin to be the greatest magician in the world. So he's in the middle of a big show at the casino where a pumped up audience is watching him premiere his burning beauty trick. And lest anyone thinks his tricks are fake.
Fazio's illusions are very real.
They're not an illusion.
Too bad he gets upstaged by Lep coming out of a box.
I wanted to see the magic though.
Nuts over Lep showboating. And when Fazio refuses to give the Leprechaun his coin, Lep shows him what a real magician can do. Fazio winds up in one of those cut in half boxes.
Oh, and he actually ends up getting cut in half.
Full Leatherface on.
First
he gets
I didn't think they used chainsaws,
which has gotta really suck for Fazio. And then he just starts that baby up and tears into the box, cutting Fazio in half as he screams in anguish. The crowd begins to realize something's wrong around the second giant blood spray, but before anyone can do anything about it, Fazio dies on stage. Lep can't help but be a showman to the end, so even though he's lost the crowd, he follows through and shows them all the bifurcated body inside. Great stuff. The audience breaks into a panic right as Scott and Tammy show up and exit the casino quickly in full movie crowd stampede mode. Scott and his flamethrower are threatening the pot of gold, so Leprechaun tries appealing to
the melting point of gold is
with a Star Wars reference.
Not that low.
To the green side.
The green side.
Scott
I've
gets
never
a
seen
real
Star Wars.
tempted look on his face while he stares at the gold, but Tammy is able to talk him out of it, and instead, Scott lights up the pot with his flamethrower, causing it to, just kind of disappear. Great. Then the Leprechaun bursts into flames and does a fire stunt on wires that are painfully visible. Damn, this movie was cheap, and that Lep is dead, or at least dead enough for me to put on the count. With the gold gone, Scott is able to turn back into a real boy. The movie ends with Tammy revealing she held onto a coin. The two of them briefly consider whether or not they should use its powers, but they settle on just trying to one-up each other with cringy lines.
I think I have everything I want.
You know something, sweetheart? This could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
At least the accent's gone.
Since this movie took place in a big city, does it have a big body count? Let's find out.
It's the biggest so far.
Thank you. Thank you
that
very
Elvis
much.
reference. Lord.
8 people died in Leprechaun 3, so the kills in this series
Including
continue to slowly increase. Of the victims,
Space is gonna
was a woman,
bring up
the
the
other
total.
7 being men, but one of those was a leprechaun. So let's get a tricolored pie chart.
Ooh, we love a tricolored pie chart.
With a runtime of 90 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 11.25 minutes. I'll give
Could
the
just do one more, so it's one every 10.
Kill to Loretta. I really wanted to give it to Fazio for how brutal his
no, it was. I mean, they're good ones.
But Loretta's death kind of sums
the
up
dull chainsaw is going to be the phone cord.
It's got to be one of Lep's all-time most memorable kills. Dull Machete for Lamest kill will definitely be Art, who, real talk, no way died from that. And that's
or the dude in the morgue that was off
screen.
screen.
Direct to video in 1995, and if it's your favorite of the franchise, you're not alone. Warwick Davis cites it as his too.
Oh, so yeah, so this is some people's
favorite. Leprechaun 4 in space.
Wait, it gets worse?
This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching today's Kill Count. I want to thank a couple of patrons like Daniel and Dusty Dormini.
Yeah, it wouldn't possible without the patrons.
If you want to join the Patreon family and support me for as little as $1 a month, you can join with that button right over there. Patrons get special rewards based on their pledge amount. Also, I want to give a special thanks to my assistant editor, Bree. Her help on these videos has basically been saving my life.
He has an editor.
Hashtag
No, sweet.
All right,
love that.
Good people.
Okay, we got another one. Let's go. Leprechaun 4 in space.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in
Can
all
Leprechauns
horror movies. I'm James Denise, and today we're looking at Leprechaun 4
in space.
Released in 1996, and the go-to title you can whip out whenever someone asks you to name the most ridiculous horror movie you can think of. This movie is just as absurd as you're expecting. Part 3 director Brian
Thanksgiving
returned
exists?
to helm another Lep movie, but since this one was a sci-fi affair, he wanted to include a lot more crazy special effects. The practical stuff
They were really a sci-fi guy.
is, as always, impressive for the budget they had, but the CG has been described by producer Mark Amin as just behind the leading edge, and more accurately by Trenchard Smith as below PlayStation. The movie's premise is literally just aliens with the Leprechaun instead of
literally playing through Devil May Cry.
In fact, the word Leprechaun is never said once in this entire script. It just referred to Lep the whole time as an evil alien that they're hunting. Throw in a bunch of other shit like a mad scientist and a space princess, and you begin to understand what this movie's gonna be. Are its kills as crazy as the rest of its content?
Wait, a space princess? What is it supposed to be? What? What has a like I said, I don't know sci-fi. I really don't.
A real bad-looking spaceship. Holy shit! Is this seriously what we're gonna be dealing with this whole movie? Kill me now. Aboard that
also, that's the very first
scene.
Scene. Like one of the most important things
imitating their favorite movie, Aliens, especially this dude Mooch, who's trying real hard to be the Bill Paxton. They've got one of those classically diverse groups going on. See, you've got your black dude, your woman, your Martinez. Everyone's represented. Even Metalheads get some screen time when Master Sergeant Metalhead Hooker enters the room and puts his troops at attention. He talks a bunch of space nonsense to his team. They're orbiting the planet of Ithacon, and they're on a search and destroy mission to hunt an alien menace who's been disrupting mining operations. Jesus, this is like the Phantom Menace of the Leprechaun series. Only this cult of warriors is much more bloodthirsty than the Jedi.
What is Phantom Menace?
Do or die, kill.
These killers are joined by Dr. Tina Reeves, who's there representing some asshole named Dr. Mittenhand, so you know we're in for some stupid shit. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't judge a dude by his name. He might be, oh, that is one dumb looking dude. Wow, okay. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be judging by his appearance either. He probably has like...
You have your orders, Sergeant. I
his voice.
You follow them.
Never mind.
What is that
He's
accent?
an outer space Nazi doctor. Don't know what I should have expected. Hooker's pissed he's got to look
that.
after
I did not expect that.
Chick, and he treats her like a 3-year-old. They're gonna have to potty train.
Get this little girl ready for combat.
More awful space graphics transport us to a shuttle where the barf-worthy love story begins between Tina and Space Sylvester Stallone, this lunkhead staff sergeant Brooks Malloy.
Why are they still so close?
Good evening.
That's right, it's Khan, Leprechaun. He's got a chick in captivity dressed up like Space
James
Slave
Bond,
Leia,
is that what that's supposed to be?
I mean, I guess Slave Leia is Space Slave Leia, but in any case, this chick is Princess Zarina, and Lep's trying to get her all bubblied up so she'll agree to marry him. See, he wants to be a king and have the universe kneel before him, but maybe before all that, he should just learn how to focus. Zarina's not interested in the proposal because, obviously, but Lep's got some leverage here since Zarina's dad is apparently a penniless king, and Lep's got the magic that make that treasure jingle jangle. That's enough for her to get on board.
The king is dead. Long live the king.
Outside on the planet's surface, we're treated to some Z-grade special effects that make it look like Prince took
It
over
honestly
in the
looks like a laser tag.
I've seen worse. You ever been to Detroit?
Oh, hold up, Lep 4. You don't get to take a dig at D-Town when you're literally the crap de la crap, all right? Get the fuck out of here with that. Detroit versus everybody. The Marines find Lep Alien's lair and open fire on a... What the fuck is that thing? Howie Mandel from Little Monsters? Anyway, Lep hears them shooting and hides, so when this Marine Lucky, get it, finds the banquet of gold on Lep's table, he thinks there's no one around to stop him from looting it. Little does he know that Leprechaun is right behind him, and don't look now, but he's got a goddamn Lep saber. He uses the saber to get Lucky, but since it'd be way too hard to show that thing cutting through skin, it's mostly an off-screen affair. Lep steals Lucky's gun and engages in a firefight with the Marines in a shitty little battle zone that wouldn't be fit for a small-town laser tag center. Seriously, what are these plastic mounds of glittery dung? When a grenade lands near Lep's creature ticket to royalty, he pulls a Whitehurst and jumps on it, blowing himself up to protect the princess. But I'm not gonna count this as a kill, because Lep will be back.
He always comes back.
Also, Zarina is still alive too, even though it looks like she lost a hand in the process. Wait, that's hers? Why is it so green? The Marine who threw the grenade, Kowalski, wants to mark his kill, and he does so with Hooker's approval.
Death from above. Let it ring!
Too bad Lep's got some secret sci-fi special effects on his sleeve, and also Kowalski's urethra, apparently. The shit-looking shuttle leaves the planet's surface and returns to the main ship, where an injured Princess Zarina is taken to the science bay. Tina notices that Zarina's necklace is an indicator of royalty from the planet Dominia, so I guess Lep's looking to be a dominatrix. The other scientist there is Dr. Mittenhand's lackey, Harold. He's a dickhead.
Hurry up, dickhead.
See? Told you, dickhead Harold shows Hooker a nifty little sci-fi beam that can both shrink objects down to fun size and blow them back up.
You have caution tape on the floor, but you don't have any
later. Then Nazi Zordon appears on a monitor to argue with Metalhead over the terms of their space contract. It's real boring shit that doesn't matter, so fuck it. Hey, you know what screams futuristic sci-fi flick? A disco dance party! Yep, we're on another awful cheap-looking set where Kowalski and the lady space marine Dolores, played by Debbie Dunning of Home Improvement fame, are grinding on each other like a pair of high school seniors circa 2005. They sneak away to make some space movie despite the teasing it evokes from the other space marines, including
Why are they all so close to each other?
When they get to a
Why are they all
place on the spacecraft, Dolores guns
shoulder to shoulder.
Like she's Sylvia Ganush, and he delivers an appalling invitation for her to give him a hand job.
Shake hands with the big guy.
But looks like there are some big problems with the big guy, because Kowalski finds himself up against the wall in pain as his crotch stands at attention. The girth keeps growing until there's a bona fide leprechaun alien ripping his way out of Kowalski's loins with some safe sex advocacy.
Let that be a lesson to you, lad. Always wear a prophylactic.
As Leprechaun does a little Care Bear flight away, Kowalski slumps over dead, victim of that savage old-timey affliction, Leptic. Alien Lep runs off talking in almost not really rhymes and calling himself 90% of my audience, but never a fucking leprechaun. Why is this a Leprechaun movie? When Tina walks into the disco bar, Books takes a break from drinking out of sex toys with the boys to go talk to her, but she ends up insulting his intelligence so much he can't help but respond with awful acting.
I know what criteria means, Doc. And I know what a prerequisite is. You see, just because I'm wearing this uniform does not mean that they have surgically removed my brain.
Are you sure about that? This conversation obviously isn't going very well.
Are you sure about
that? Even though Books keeps pressing with all the natural macho confidence that comes with being a 6'3" camo Ken doll. So let's just watch these other two Marines, Booch and Danny Martinez.
Why? It's just 3 people at this party. Who is the DJ?
Tries to get some relationship advice from Styx, who... Wait, hold up. Yo, Styx is played by Miguel A. Nunez Jr., better known to Dead Meat fans as the poopin' performer Demon from Friday 5. Hell yes.
Oh, wow, dude.
Damn enchiladas.
Let me hear some of them ooh, baby.
So long ago.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
One more time.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby.
Wow, I remember
so
this.
Sweet to my ears. Unfortunately, their dude talk gets interrupted by Dolores finally getting back to alert them about Lep.
It's alive!
They head out
it's a lie. What do you mean? It's how do you explain what you just saw?
Relationship is literally the same as the Aniston Handyman Aladdin one from the original. Only instead of city versus country, it's brains versus brawn.
I don't believe in guns.
They are definitely flagging.
It's like mom and dad are fighting, but
not good.
Both of them.
Don't do
when
that.
Hooker wants to check out a waste disposal room, Tina points out that it's filled with flesh-eating bacteria. So Hooker assigns Mooch to suit up and go look inside.
I volunteer you as tribute.
Him since she knows what she's doing, but not so fast there, little lady. You need a big, strong Books to tell you what to do.
Fine, she goes as far as the airlock. Mooch and I go in, all right?
Seriously, the dudes in this franchise make my skin crawl. Need another example? Well, look no further than the Science Bay, where Harold is proving just how much of a dickhead he is by fucking molesting the unconscious Princess Zarina. God damn, this movie's skeevy.
Look at the dude in the background just watching this.
Reattached itself with new tissue. Mittenhand appears on a monitor and tells him to keep that little discovery secret and keep it safe. Booch and Books head into the shit chamber.
How are you supposed to keep that secret? Is someone not gonna come check and see that her hands back?
Lep whips out a blade and slashes open Mooch's spacesuit with it, causing all that flesh-eating bacteria to flood into his suit as Books tries to get him out. You've just gotta imagine it's happening, though. We don't really get to see any of it, at least not until Books pulls him out of the poop chamber and shows that he's become a Halloween USA skeleton. Yeah, I know, Tina. It looks pretty bad. The Marines go yell at the science nerds, because Hooker's done with this shit and wants to just hand over Zarina to Leprechaun so he'll stop killing his men. Mittenhand refuses because he wants to keep her for science. When Hooker threatens to leave the ship entirely, Mittenhand reveals himself in person with some Doom Door sound effects.
And this is what he's supposed to be.
Yep, so Mittenhand is revealed to be a cyborg space Nazi doctor.
No, he's not. Is he a cyborg?
A much more bombastic
oh, yeah, he is.
The Wizard of Oz.
Or was he
from behind a curtain?
Yeah, but like you're still definitely a Nazi. You might want to watch it with a
was he an actual person
he unilaterally
that
extended
saved
Marines'
by
contract, threatening them with mutiny charges if they don't follow
like
orders.
the Major
so
from
now
Helsing.
These Marines are the anti-Lep force. While they're out hunting for Leprechaun aliens, Harold and Dr. Mittenhand do some weird science with awful direct-to-video effects that result in a flesh-toned turd. Okay, looks like
that reminds me of
thrilled about
a bowling
it, though, so what do I know? Harold drinks
animation.
Zarina's rejuvenating blue blood and makes a nasty blue
she's a horseshoe crab. Okay.
Hopes will allow him to regrow the rest of his body. As disgusting
horseshoe
as
crabs have
Space
blue
Nazi
blood,
and pervy dickhead are, they might be more entertaining than the Marines walking around in pairs and doing fucking nothing. This movie's so bad and boring. And even when there is a supposed action scene, it's just gunfire and Leprechaun making finger explosions with no consequences.
Yeah, this
Eventually,
isn't even
Danny
like
gets
the
scared and
Leprechaun
runs off
movie.
on his own, only to find a monitor with Lep on it playing dress up again and imitating his idol Freddy with a much less graceful rendition of Kruger's favorite gag. When Danny sees the Leprechaun hiding and goes to shoot him, Lep drops a big metal crate on him, crushing him for a bloodless kill.
Why did he try to run away? Why did you just look at it?
Because at least it's something fucking happening. The rest of the Marines are still on their mission of ineptitude.
Leprechaun does not get a lot of screen time. Hopefully James like
seal
counts
off
up
Dolores from
screen
everyone
time
else.
for Leprechaun.
Things aren't looking good for the Tool Time girl. When Lep confronts her on the catwalk, she wastes no time blowing him to pieces with her space rifle. So, movie over? Nah, we ain't that lucky. Leprechaun rejuvenates from a single foot, not sure how exactly, and tosses her from the walkway to hang over a big old green screen pit. He plays this little piggy with her fingers, which just shows me she's got some impressive digital strength. But
that's actually for a single finger to hold yourself up like that?
Dolores falls down to her chroma key doom right as the Marines escape from the door they were locked behind. Hooker gets so incensed, actor Tim Colseri quotes himself from Full Metal Jacket. They find Dolores lying at the bottom of the spaceship.
I've heard it's a good
movie,
but I've never seen it.
But she does pop back up to give some final words of wisdom.
Kill him.
Yeah,
you
no
just
shit,
tried.
Dolores. That's damn been the plan this whole time. She
All
falls
her
back and
piggies
dies,
went all the
giving
way
us
home.
another kill to add to the list and inspiring Tina to end her anti-gun ways and get locked and loaded for Lep. Harold gets tricked by Leprechaun, imitating a topless Tina and begging to be let into the Science Bay. It's a trick Lep has played time and time again. But
yeah, well, I mean, I guess it matches with how the guys are.
The audience directly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You saved my life.
And in case that near Jar Jar quote's not bad enough, let's throw in a Hannibal Lecter tongue thing too.
Jar Jar from Star Wars.
When Horny Harold opens the door, he gets a cane straight to his hickory stick. Lep strolls into the science bay and gets laughed at by Dr. Mittenhand while Harold rolls around holding the cane against his own junk for some reason. Just let it go and get up, you dickhead. He discovers its retractable blade and sticks it through the back of Leprechaun, coming out the front. But you think that's gonna stop Leppy Boy? Nah, son, and for trying, you're gonna get a real weird death. When Leprechaun magics a big saucer plate through the air, spinning sideways and slamming into Harold's face with enough force to flatten it into one of the most disturbing images in this entire franchise. And we just saw a sex bot kill a dude in the last movie. But I'd rather watch 1,000 malfunctioning sex bots.
But why is his nose still there, but the rest of his face is
Serena, she of the music festival makeup and middle school dance body glitter? She was kind of a character. Let's bring her back with an nasty lep kiss. She wakes up to learn that Leprechaun into some kinky shit, having fixed Mittenhand with a ball gag in the mouth. With the Nazi doctor subdued, Lep gets to some fucked up experiments of his own, mixing the blue milk potion with a big old hairy tarantula and a nasty scorpion. He puts that shit on the smoothie setting and injects it straight into Mittenhand's mitten skull as Zarina cheers him on. The Marines show up just in time to see some quality Leprechaun movie acting.
Someone's coming.
Man, that's bad. The only thing that can make up for that acting is hearing a shout out for my channel.
Is he supposed to be like maybe like a Harley Quinn kind of deal?
Oh, you dead meat!
I don't know.
He noticed me. Another real lame gunfight breaks out, which is about as entertaining as watching stormtroopers in a practice skirmish until Lep and Zarina run away. The Marines pursue them, leaving Mittenhand to wig out on his own. When they find Zarina, she commands them to kneel before her, distracting them long enough for Lep to magic a ton of explosives all over Metalhead's body and the detonator all of them
bro can just make C4.
Before he and Zarina head off with their new hostage, though, we've got to get a real gratuitous tit shot in here when she exposes her breasts to the Marines in a move that's explained by Tina as being a death sentence on her system. They'll be dead. Definitely not as fatal a use of nudity as those blade boobs back in part 2. That was how you kill someone with boobs, Zarina. The remaining trio of Marines head after them, noticing that only the ball gag is left of Mittens, as Zarina tells Lep what he should do with the Marines.
You must execute these peasants.
But instead of executing them outright, Lep's gonna use his spell over Hooker to give us all a lip-sync drag show. Tim Colseri said
did not expect that to happen.
Take, which, yeah, kind of looks like it. As Lep and Zarina watch, Hooker alternately dances.
I guess it's supposed to be ironic because he's supposed to be
After Tina knocks him down with some basic martial arts, his gun rematerializes for some reason, and he charges at them while having a real bad argument with himself.
Hell! This is far too violent. You're a Marine! Snap out of it!
Eventually, he sticks his
I'm
bayonet
guessing that's the irony of the situation.
Him to get electrocuted to death. Upon falling to the ground, Marines learn the shocking
not what
revelation
it would appear on the surface kind of deal.
This whole time, a reveal that literally changes nothing in the story or with the character. But hey, Alien did it, so might as well put it in the shitty fucking space Leprechaun movie too. Okay, now that that's over with, I'm hoping that we might just be safe from any more stupid shit in the rest of the movie. Wait, what's that eye-opening? Wait, what the fuck is that thing? Oh dear God, no. Is that Dr. Mittenhand? No, even worse.
Is it?
I am now Mitten Spider.
Mitten Spider. Okay, well.
Good Lord. Having left the space drag show, Leprechaun and Zarina are on their way to the cargo bay to get his gold, stopping only to activate the ship's self-destruct sequence so they can get rid of the Marines and this abomination. Styx heads off to go stop the auto self-destruct sequence, but gets first-person attacked by Mittenfucker. But the next time we see him, he's just hanging out in some Laffy Taffy, still able to operate the computer. Meanwhile, Lep and Zarina finally find his gold, only to learn that it's been shrunken down with that zap gun that we saw what feels like years ago. Also, since Zarina's been annoying Lep this whole time, he bewitches her face to break out into boils. But then he just knocks her out with his cane and makes the boils disappear. Nothing matters in this movie. Beauty and the Brawn find Leprechaun so we can get
they had references in other movies,
another boring space gunfight. Yippee! At least this one results in a gratuitous torso shot of Books to kind of even the score here. Dead meat, are you gay? Tina's able to hit Lep with the shrink ray gun. Only, wait a minute, it wasn't set to mini, it was set to Wumbo. Leprechaun resizes about as well as a low-res JPEG, and his artifacting scares Books
it's
and
a
Tino
giant
right out
leprechaun.
Of the Wait, big size Lep? You thinking dick joke?
Big is good.
Yeah, I knew you were. Books returns to try to fight Lep off through the power of Pex, while Tina crawls through an air vent and gets attacked by Mitten Spider. Don't worry, girl, he attacked Styx like 10 minutes ago, and that dude is just fine. But actually, wait, this movie isn't sleazy enough. Why not have Mitten Spider straight up rip this girl's pants?
Okay.
She shows up to the bridge looking more like a Baywatch lifeguard than a biologist, and gets attacked again by the magnificently
What is the audience for the Leprechaun movies?
Keeps yelling at her.
Seriously.
So she feeds him some liquid nitrogen, freezing him into a Mitten snow spider that she then shoots with a rifle to blow the fuck up. Finally.
I don't think that's how that would work.
Dead and gone. Just
also,
like 5
you know
more
how
to go
much liquid nitrogen you would need to like freeze him to the core, not just on the
giant
surface?
Leprechaun, who has seriously spent his entire time as a giant just tossing around space crates and shit. There was literally no purpose to him getting big like that. Books takes Zarina to safety and tells Tina to open the cargo bay doors, Hal, which creates a vacuum in the cargo bay that ultimately sends Leprechaun out into space.
And he'll be fine.
Distorts some more, this time time with less artifacts and more wacky wormhole effects until he finally just blows the fuck up. Wait, hold up a minute. I'm sorry.
Why?
Rewind that back. All right, slow motion. Yeah, that space explosion took place in a goddamn room. They didn't even bother to turn off the obvious ceiling light. Holy fucking shit.
Oh, you can actually see that.
Garbage. Oh, speaking of which.
The king is dead. Long live the queen.
So the conniving space princess gets a happy ending?
So you're the winner?
Cool. Wait, why is this movie still going?
He'll come back.
Because of the auto self-destruct sequence. If I tell you the password, will you just fucking roll credits, please? It's Wizard, like of Oz, okay? Great.
Oh, because he's supposed to be like the wizard,
and poorly
like behind the
aliased
curtain
Leprechaun
deal.
hand flipping them the bird. The fucking end, holy
Well, now
God.
you're in space.
There was
Have fun with that.
absolutely nothing redeemable about that movie, so let's hope it has a decent body count to make up for it. Let's find out at the numbers.
Oh no, James! Oh no!
Oh my God, I'm so big now! Oh, goodness me.
I mean, he could have fought Thanos.
9 people died in Leprechaun 4 in space.
Are we increasing it again?
Only 1 victim was a woman, and of the 8 men, 1 was a cyborg and 1 was a leprechaun. So we had all sorts of shit going on.
That's a pie chart we've never seen before.
95 minutes, that comes
5
out
minutes
to a kill
longer.
on average every 10.56 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Kowalski. This death was part of director Trenchard Smith's pitch that sold the idea to producer Mark
was
Amin.
how he
After
pitched
all,
the movie,
was
with that.
A leprechaun materializing out of some dude's peen. The lamest kill will go to Harold. Sure, Danny and Dolores' deaths were pretty lame, but Harold's was just embarrassing and way too cartoony for me, which is saying something in a Leprechaun movie. And that's
space.
it.
A Leprechaun movie in
4
space.
Space was released direct-to-video in 1996, the 4th consecutive year with a Leprechaun release. Thankfully, the worst is over. Believe it or not, In the Hood is leagues better than this pseudo
So the next one's gonna be better?
I'll prove it
It'll
to
be
you
next
next
week.
time, but until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching today's Kill Count.
Certainly
I want to thank a
something.
couple
That's gonna be
patrons
Leprechaun
like
in the Hood.
Cervantes III and Johnson Hoy. We're now more than halfway through with the Leprechaun series. And yes, this was a Monday release. Trust me with these releases until I tell you a little bit more information in a few weeks. I'm gonna change some things up after my 1-year anniversary, but I promise you'll like it. If everyone doing the giveaway, I'm so impressed by your work. Keep it up. You guys are great. Be good people.
Ooh, it's fun. Okay, well, if anything has to be blurred, it's copyright.
Welcome to the Kill Count.
Or
we tally
if,
up the victims and all
specific things need to be blurred, it's because of
and today we're
right
looking
there.
at Leprechaun in the Hood.
I don't want this video to have that
2000. In the Hood
that
is an
issue.
easy target for people looking to piss on the Leprechaun series, which obviously I love to do because of
Wait,
its high concept
compared to
title and
4?
prima facie absurdity. And to be sure, it is a silly movie with a painfully low budget and at least
how
one pretty
low?
problematic component. But it's also one of the best acted and most character-driven entries in the series. Actors
Because we
Anthony
watch for the
Montgomery,
characters.
Rashawn Nall, and Red Grant play 3 hopeful rap artists
what are
trying
names?
to make their way out of the Hood and bring a lot of serious emotion to their roles. I care way more about these characters than I do any Jed, Dick, or Morty of the previous films.
Have they
Don't
had
get
any
too
other roles?
excited because in the end, this is still a Leprechaun movie. But let's see how many kills the little shit racks up in this one.
Probably somewhere between a lot and
The
a
movie
little.
begins with, wait, that's the beginning of the first one. It just has a new voiceover telling us the title of the movie we're
Yo,
about
the
to watch.
budget's that low.
You can. The future's not good, for no one is safe from a lep in the Hood.
Next thing you know, Ice-T and a crazy afro wig are looking through a hole.
Wait, is that actually
Ice-T is
Ice-T?
Mac Daddy Onassis, and this is the 70s,
I've heard of
as
Ice-T.
evidenced by his blaxploitation attire and the disco funk playing underneath the whole sequence. Mac Daddy gets pissed at his buddy Slug for talking about the malt liquor someone left in the subway tunnel, so he throws him through a wall, revealing a little room with a statue of Leprechaun, the medallion around his neck. So I guess we're continuing the lore from part 3 and pretending like
put
the
the
space
Leprechaun
movie
there?
never happened. You know what? That works for me. The new addition to Left lore in this flick is a golden flute, which is the only thing Mac Daddy claims for himself. He tells his hair-picking pal to take whatever he wants, and Slug goes straight for the medallion, moving it from Lep's neck and waking up the Leprechaun from who
chains
knows
were a
how
big
long
deal.
a slumber. Lep could use a good hair brushing after all that sleepy time, so he grabs the pick and, oh no, he's probably just gonna kill that dude with it, huh?
Nope.
Slug backs up and drops the medallion, and next thing Mac Daddy knows, he's down a lackey due to a pick in the throat. I do like that Slug manages to take it out of his throat before he falls to the ground dead. Mac Daddy sees the nasty Leppy boy and starts pulling all sorts of weapons out of that prop window. Lep simply magics them all away
They knew what
and
they were
tells T
doing.
to take a seat. But before Lep can spill that iced tea for good, Mac Daddy opens up a pipe that knocks the Leprechaun back and sends the medallion flying in the air at a perfect arc to land around Lep's neck. Ready for some low-budget filmmaking? Yeah, his transition to stone is done in friggin' Photoshop close-up.
Literally, that's all it
It's
is.
really an appalling sight. But the important takeaway of this cold open is that Ice-T wins. Let's jump to the present, which means the year 2000, in Compton, California. A rap trio led by Postmaster P is auditioning to get into a Las
Postmaster
Vegas
P.
competition that could lead them to fame and acclaim. Real talk, although P's beats and rhymes are pretty weak, you gotta love the message he's dealing.
What? Okay. Hopefully I don't have to, like, you know,
yeah, man, P's my dude, talking about being
or...
good people and shit. Too bad they're kind of fuck-ups and DJ Butch blows a speaker, ruining
their
audition.
Wow,
and
that is that really what happens?
The world's longest long take. And heads up, there are a lot of them.
Spelled by 400.
You're gonna see a lot of those white flashes that I used to hide jump cuts. I just think the movie didn't have the budget to film scenes with different angles. But hey, you know what? They still made a movie. Maybe by following P's mantra.
You just gotta think positive.
They go to a
true. That doesn't make the best movie though. Another pawn shop. Are we gonna spend a bunch of time in there?
To owner Jackie D, saying it was Hendrix's, but he ain't buying it. We learn a little more about the other characters here. Stray Bullet is a hustler.
How'd you get that?
Make it big no matter what. And Butch is a science nerd who also looks and acts like a Jordan Peele character. And Postmaster P?
Postmaster, what is that shit? You ain't never been in the military?
No, it's Postmaster P because I deliver a positive message, man. That's all.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Guitar trick with another store owner, Chow, but he doesn't fall for it either. With no money to fix that blown speaker, they're in dire straits when they see Mac Daddy Onassis, who has become something of a mogul. Stray is super impressed by his success, but Post dismisses him because he feels a gangster rap. When Mac Daddy stops his car to talk a little shit to him, Stray manages to convince him to give them a listen. Mac takes him to his office where he keeps his frozen leprechaun and listens to their track, offering some very measured criticism.
It's not much, but it's not the worst.
He agrees to take them on, but only if they're willing to change the direction of the music to a much more aggressive and violent.
Yeah, of course, because that's
shoot your motherfucking homeboy in the face type shit.
Stray's down for that for sure.
P
stands for protest.
Don't do that.
And Mac Daddy's time is not to be wasted.
Get the fuck out of here!
Without a new speaker, they can't perform in another audition or get to that nebulous Vegas competition. So Stray says they should sneak into Mac's place and steal the medallion they saw in the Leprechaun statue in his office.
Kinda like Robin Hood. We're gonna be robbing in the hood.
But P stands for personal property rights and says he won't participate, especially when Stray starts talking
I'm glad he has morals.
But later on, when Stray and Butch are pumping themselves up to get her done, they're surprised to find Postmaster P joining them. Just as soon as he can get to him. Maybe a dissolve would help.
Why?
Yeah. Still taking a while. Try another
dissolves
one,
are actually
there we go. He
in
got
the movie.
There.
Wait, really?
They bust into Mac Daddy's office.
Instead of
this light
just
is most definitely
shooting
a set in a film school, and they raid the place as Butch does some science nerd shit to the glass case with the left. Stray finds gold chains, P finds a handgun, and that's when Mac Daddy enters for some midnight oil burning business work. Butch's bomb goes off, and P ends up shooting Mac Daddy in the chest, turning this into a much bigger deal than just a robbery.
This got crazy real quick.
I guess they grab the medallion, and Post even grabs the flute from Mac Daddy's person. But right before they're in the clear, they hear a nasty laugh coming from behind them.
Unhand me gold, you thieving hoods. You got more loot than Tiger Woods.
Ooh, no! Lep. You're like an embarrassing drunkle. They shoot the nasty-looking Lep.
I didn't understand how good Tiger Woods was at golf until I started
the medallion
golfing.
On their way out the door. That's
I knew
why they call him
amazing.
Butch. But Lep's able to pull himself together and rise up out of some smoke right as Mac Daddy recovers from the slug that was stopped by one of his gold chains.
What?
But when he sees that Lep's all default and pissed, he hightails it out of there. Mac Daddy goes to a nightclub and ducks into the bathroom. But by now, everyone should know that's like the #2 place to run into leprechauns. After pawn shops, of course. And sure enough, right as he lights up the J to relax, Lep appears and is the kind of guy to immediately ask for a hit. Careful, Mac. You know he's probably going to bogart it. Nah, instead, Lep's like an art school freshman when he's high and just starts reciting poetry.
A friend with weed is a friend indeed, but a friend with gold is the best, I'm told.
He plays an old favorite and breaks off Mac's finger for his gold ring, then sends Mac away, telling him to go find his gold.
I'm gonna kill that little green motherfucker with my fucking finger.
On his way out, Lep gets into a fight with the bartender, and when the dude goes to hit him with a mic stand, Lep shocks the hell out of him with some poorly done green lightning strikes. They go on for a while, and finish by going into the dude's eyes, turning them green. The trio of pro-tags go back to Jackie D's, where they traded some of their stolen Lep gold for new sound equipment. But Post isn't interested in boring business deals. He's interested in that gold flute, which he blows into on a whim,
which I don't know what
it creates a magical sound that both alerts Lep remotely to its use and hypnotizes everyone around it.
What do you mean hypnotize?
Figure out when he got that gold vape pen. The others snap out of the ruminations and they go to Chow's place, and one of those
do they have
they obviously couldn't shoot from the other
any recollection of that?
A reverse shot of Chow, which is a damn shame when he starts dancing. I want a close-up of that dude.
Chow get down hard with his bad self.
Go for it, Chow.
The same thing happens as before. The flute is blown and so is everyone's fucking mind. Wait, why is Lep in like a bar now? And who are those girls? And why are they sleeping with sunglasses on? That night, Lep visits Jackie D and tells him he wants his gold.
Is that a
sword? The only gold Jackie D has given up comes from his line deliveries.
Well, I ain't buying no Halloween costumes, so you better just trick-or-treat your little ass on out of here.
Lep leaves without us ever getting a reverse shot because budget. But later, Jackie D stops his car on his way home to find a woman he recognizes in the middle of the street.
Jackie C?
Yep, it looks like she wants that Jackie D.
It's Leprechaun.
He starts feeling all over her Jackie T's and her Jackie B, and gets so damn excited about the thought of her Jackie V, he doesn't notice that she turns into a leprechaun Leppy lady till he's already got a half chub. What would that be? A grind me fat boy? Weirdly though, that's not actually Leprechaun like these apparitions usually are, because he's inside like a trunk or something and just listening to Jackie D getting killed out there, which is supremely lame. P stands for Peepin' Tom. As Post sits on a roof looking in on his own party. He's not proud of his own party to achieve this wealth, even though Stray just says they gotta look to the future and think about how things will be different.
I mean, they got blow through all that money.
Feel too guilty about that murder, because back from the grave is Mac Daddy Onassis. He is pissed off. He yells
they didn't have anybody outside,
but when they deny knowing anything about it, he's done playing games. His fucked up finger gives them just enough time to jump down from the roof they're on top of and run away through the alley as Mac's bodyguard shoots at them.
With sunglasses on at night, maybe if you didn't have those on.
So they plan to just lay low until their audition that'll get them to the fireworks factory. I mean Vegas. Since Mac Daddy knows everyone, they seek shelter at Miss Fontaine's, a transgender character who is not handled great, unfortunately and unsurprisingly.
What do you mean handled great?
She agrees to let them stay with her as long as they let her hang out at their rehearsal, which they do on Fontaine's back patio film set. Their practice is interrupted by a bottle-tossing Statler, or maybe Waldorf, but P stands for playing that flute, and the airy sounds win the naysayer over. Flute practice turns into a full-on performance with a big crowd of people, but again, hard not to notice that there are no shots from the
also, it looks warm,
real obvious
but he's wearing a
this is
jacket.
All film set, and that behind that crowd is the film crew. Then Lep kills Chow.
Maybe the crowd is the film crew.
He just appears at his store and chokes him to death. The only thing halfway interesting about the kill is that Lep then apparently took the time to pickle Chow's body parts. But come on, Lep, you're looking for
how does Lep know how to do that?
Side hobbies like this. He gets to Miss Fontaine's place
to collect
his flute, but she takes a liking to him and leads him into her bedroom. This character's very unfortunate inclusion in this movie ends with the Leprechaun killing her in bed through unknown means. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and leave those unknown. Post and the others see the little Lep man in the apartment and hide from him in a different part of the film set as he angrily searches for his goal. Showing off his science skills, Butch uses the chemicals from a douche and some KY jelly to create a combustible trap for the Leprechaun. Then Stray taunts Lep to come after them, and the trap actually works. That Lep goes up in flames in what's actually a kind of impressive, if super obvious, fire stunt. But I love watching people run around on fire, so no complaints here. The guys head to a church to find sanctuary from the leprechaun demon that afflicts them, and in the morning they're woken up by Leprechaun go to church, right? There if they agree to be the musical act for that day's sermon. So they get robed up as little choir boys and start trying to freestyle. I mean,
they have a positive message, so I can see this happening.
Stray can't help but be profane.
Jesus loves me, this I know. If he don't, I'll find a hoe.
And these people are good, God-fearing Christians who don't need that devil speak in their ears, so they go to leave and start a letter-writing campaign, I'm sure. But P stands for preserving the faith, and he unleashes the power of the flute on all these people.
It doesn't even like play a note, he just like blows into it.
Drags in Coolio off the streets.
Yo, that Coolio.
So,
I don't know who Coolio is.
Here it goes. We've got a full-on rap performance of
he kind of reminds me of...
It's Run's house.
He reminds me of another actor.
People are loving it. Stray is awed by the power of the flute, but there's no time to be full of wonder, y'all, because they see out the window that Mac Daddy is here.
Does nobody else try the
flute? Where a Scooby-Doo-like physical gag reveals that the Leprechaun is also trapped.
Yep, that's literally Scooby-Doo.
They try to flee once more, but Mac traps him in the hallway at gunpoint. He's not about to believe Post when he tries to tell him that Leprechaun is right behind him. To really enter with a bang, Lep straight up blows a hole through Mac Daddy's bodyguard, which leaves me wondering who guards the bodyguard's body. Mac Daddy runs off, and the wholesome rat boy ducks into Reverend Hansen's office. The Leprechaun torments them by, wait, what the fuck is he doing? Just scratching at the door like a dog?
Didn't he just like literally just do this in a huge hole in somebody's chest?
Trying to knock it down, but Post has an idea. See, he saw this in a movie once. It might have been called something like Leprechaun 2, maybe. But all you gotta do is use this big-ass safe and wait for the Leprechaun.
Why do they have a safe? Also, the Leprechaun not see it?
It's a Lep in a box. With Lep locked up tight, the boys turn back to
their music ambitions and
try to record the flute's effects to tape, but it doesn't seem to work. I guess they're gonna have to be one of those bands that just sounds better live, like Fish. They leave for their audition, and hey Lep, how are you even gonna get out of this one?
I summon you, me zombie fly girls.
I'm sorry.
What did you just say? Zombie fly girls?
From that earlier shot of Lep are his quote-unquote zombie fly girls, and now one of them is here to seduce the
Were those the ones that were sleeping next to him?
My specialty
before?
is the gift of tongues.
But maybe keep that tongue in your mouth, Reverend, because that chick's got green eyes.
That's a red flag.
Freed Lep from the safe and allowed him to shove his hands through Hansen's back to kill him. I mean, cool kill and all, but how'd he get out of that safe? The boys get to their audition and blow that flute, so in no time at all, it becomes another bumpin' concert, shot from a single angle, of course. But hey, you know what? You can still make a cool music video with only 3 walls. Just gotta get the artsy shots, you know, like the classic high-angle back of thigh shot. Got it? Like Jones would be proud. They head back to their
what was the point of that angle?
And are celebrating their success when the movie's only white character walks in. Dude's the stereotypical out-of-touch white guy as he tells them he's from a big-time wrestling
Also, what that outfit?
Guilty as charged, homeboy.
Furthermore, he says they've made the finals at the Vegas fireworks competition because their music is so dope.
The kids are down with it.
Good work, guys, but don't celebrate too hard.
Yeah, definitely out of touch.
Set's walls aren't that. Yep, shit. See, you went too
hard.
Wow,
we're literally
at the top of that set's walls. You can literally see right over them and into another room. Damn.
Oh, that's hilarious.
At least production could afford 3 tight gold dresses for the zombie fly girls. Also, stroll into the dressing room and show off their emerald eyes.
That's a white character.
Comes in after them and kindly asks for his flute. When Stray responds with a gun, Lep takes over his motor functions and forces him to shoot around in the air. Then there's a legitimately tense scene where Lep puts the gun to Butch's head and demands the flute, but Post still kind of hesitates to hand it over. It's really rare for a late sequel slasher to have protagonists that you root for more than the franchise's villain, but that's definitely the case.
Yeah, no,
these 3 dudes are all super real, and we don't want to see any of them die. So it's a huge relief when Post finally comes to his senses and hands over the flute. Lep relinquishes his magic and lowers the gun from Butch's head, and on his way out taunts how they'll never be stars. So that makes P stand for poorly thought out actions.
Why would you do this?
Lep holds him off with magic.
Bro, literally, you just did magic and you're like,
his hand back around and puts it straight up to his chin. The scene then cuts to black, and yeah, man, Lep made Stray shoot himself. Since the next scene shows Post putting Stray's body in an abandoned vehicle. Like I said,
maybe don't move
actually has
the
some
body.
Emotional weight to it, and it's played.
Actually, how would you explain it?
Butch laments to Post that it's all over and leaves. But Post doesn't seem content.
Also, this is the same place they were at before.
Maybe he didn't die, Post, because open that door, dude. It's Stray, and he's ready to party, dog.
What?
Nah, that's just a dream. Stray is still dead. And dude, Post is fucking ripped. When did that happen? P stands for pectoralis, son. He opens the door to find Butch wearing some stupid light-up glasses. Butch is there with some new knowledge from a Leprechauns for Dummies book. He has a plan that involves a callback to the original.
This weed got clovers in it, 4-leaf clovers.
Butch says there's an easy way to get close to Lep. All they've got to do is cross-dress. There's a surprisingly lengthy montage of Butch and Post getting done up in their best drag attire, and it's got a strangely sincere tone to it.
How did they know how to do this? Because I'm pretty sure most of the time you need kind of like a guide, someone knows what they're doing.
But wearing makeup isn't the only transformation Post is going through, because it looks like P stands for packing.
Ain't nothing but a hip-hop thing.
They meet up with the zombie fly girls and smoke them down with the 4-leaf clover weed, which breaks their spell, but not before they awkwardly recite the Lep's infamous rap.
The sunglasses.
Lep in the hood, come to do no good. Lep in the hood, come to do no good.
Post and Butch take an elevator to what has to be the single worst looking location in this movie, and that includes the room where we saw over the set's wall.
What is this?
It's the backstage of a fucking theater where they store the lighting equipment and backdrops.
Literally,
this is straight up embarrassing, man. Post gets up close to the Lep and gets him to smoke the weed, and then I'm pretty sure Lep makes a limerick about his Lep dick.
Sit down, my healthy filly. You're about to meet a club named Billy.
He tries to move Post's hand to his Lep lap, but the weed kicks in and the little guy zonks out in the nick of time. Post grabs the flute and clacks away on his heels.
Maybe get the medallion?
Because there'd be gunshots in the air courtesy of Mac Daddy.
Oh, yeah, he's back.
Butch got shot.
Yo,
damn,
when did that happen?
Came out of nowhere. But I guess if they're gonna kill Stray, there's no reason to believe that Butch would make it out.
That's true,
That's a shame, dude. He never even got to meet Liam Neeson. Now P stands for proportional punishment, because even after Mac says he's got the only thing that can defeat the Leprechaun, Post shoots Mac 3 times like he did Butch. Once in the shoulder, then the gut, then in the, just general torso area. Lep comes downstairs and knocks Post on his ass against a pole. Remember that you're in a dress there, dude. Maybe just close your... No,
not
Post
doing
is airing
that.
out. Mac Daddy gets back up and takes a chair to Lep's head. Fuck off.
Why?
That just pisses Lep off, though, and he does another magic bullet straight into Mac's gut, blowing him apart and finally killing him once and for all.
And he throws the medallion. He happened to toss the medallion.
Once again, he conveniently comes down at the perfect trajectory to snare the little Lep shit. Or at least we assume that's what happens when the screen goes black and we hear Lep scream. Cut to a bump in bar where Postmaster P is giving a very smoky performance of the same 4 fucking lines over and over. Seriously, the song is so repetitive, it sounds like it's by Fatboy Slim. The movie ends with Post taking off his glasses to reveal some zombie fly boy eyes.
Why?
It looks like he's got a new manager.
I taught him everything he knows.
Oh,
yeah.
So where did the medallion go?
That's the end of the movie. No, for real, we don't need to show this last little tidbit.
Come from the land of the
rapping Leprechaun?
Place where I learned my thing. From the Emerald Isle to your place in the hood. I'm the man of
Emerald Isle, where's Emerald Isle?
It's Lep in the Hood, come to do no good. An awful song.
I've been to Emerald Isle, but it might not be that one.
He hypnotizes the zombie fly girls. This definitely leads me to believe that this scene was supposed to take place earlier in the movie and that they moved it for some reason. Not sure why exactly, but maybe it's because Warwick Davis and these fly girls can't even sing the chorus in unison or on beat.
Lep in the Hood, come to do no good.
Was there a trailer for this movie? Because I feel like they
zombie
used
fly
this.
girls just do some weird-looking dance moves over the credits. Man, there's no way those girls got paid enough for this. There, we went to the hood. Was it everything you hoped it would be? Let's see if the numbers stack up and get to that.
Oh,
Lucy will help me.
Aww.
Lucy the cat come to do no good.
I miss my
Lucy
cats.
the cat come to do no good.
I miss the kittens. I miss the boys. I haven't seen them in
10
2 weeks.
people died in Leprechaun in the Hood.
Okay.
Again, slightly surpassing the prior movie.
Yeah,
the victims
slightly.
consisted of 1 woman and 9 men. And don't be a dick in the comments about that, all right? With a runtime of 91 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 9.1 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Mac Daddy's bodyguard.
Yeah,
Most
just
of these
out of
deaths were
nowhere. It's the
underwhelming,
first time
so
Lep
I guess
showed
I'll
that
go
kind
with
of
the hole
power.
through the torso. At the very least, it's a pretty fun sight gag. Dull machete for lamest kill definitely goes to Jackie D, who you just hear yelling while Lep listens from some weird little front space.
I was about to say
and that's it. Leprechaun in the Hood was released to video in 2000
Stray?
and would get its own little sequel 3 years later when Leprechaun went back to the Hood. We'll
Why
look at that
did
on
they
Monday,
feel like
but
it was
until
gonna
then,
do
I'm
make a
James
second
Davies.
one?
This has been the Kill Count. Thanks
Or
a
no,
lot for
both
watching
of them, so
today's
let's
Kill
do it.
Count. If you didn't know, we now have Final Girl t-shirts available at deadmeatstore.com.
Final Girl.
Also, if you didn't see, we're now releasing the Dead Meat podcast in video form on the channel every week. It's
yes.
every Tuesday.
I remember
Just look
podcasts
for it.
were
New
just-
episodes. Me and Chelsea, and sometimes Lucy.
Aw.
Lucy the cat come to do no good. Lucy the cat come to do
So chill.
no good.
Aw.
Be good kitties.
So cute. Oh, I miss the kittens. I miss the boys. Oh, man.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tell
Oh, yeah,
you the
I remember
victims in all our
podcasts were
favorite
literally
horror
just like
movies,
audio, and
also
now they
Leprechaun
always have a
ones.
video.
I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Leprechaun, Back to the Hood, released
Because
direct-to-video in 2003.
I guess
Back
they
to
were
the
like,
Hood
oh,
doesn't
let's
have
do this with
anything
a
to
little
do
bit more
with previous
budget.
Films, not even
What?
the one it's purportedly going back to. But one thing it does share with that movie is having a real talented cast. The quartet of lead actors are Tangi Miller, Laz Alonso, Paige Kennedy, and Sherry Jackson, and all of them put in serious performances that are leagues better than what we got in those first 4 movies. Shit, Laz Alonso's so good, he wound up in a Fast and Furious and friggin' Avatar. Writer-director Stephen Iron Louis changed
Avatar,
up the
like the
Leprechaun character
blue
for this
people
movie,
one?
getting
I've
rid
never
of his
seen that.
limericks
I
and
have
most
seen
of
Fast
his
and Furious,
magic,
though.
and instead turned him into an ancient evil folk creature.
Okay,
complete with
I
a
could
new
already tell the
outfit
budget's
that I
higher.
personally really dig. Hopefully Warwick Davis liked it too, since this would be his last time playing the little shit. How many kills did Davis and Club get on
who
his
plays
farewell
Leprechaun
tour of the
next?
Hood? Let's find out and get to that.
Oh, no. No more Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis, that's a name.
Telling us backstory through some pretty cool animation.
Yeah.
We learned that leprechauns are forest spirits who guarded their gold.
Apparently
from
they're
falling into the
fairies,
hands of
apparently,
wicked men. Side
according-
note, I've seen some kill counts online include knights and kings who die in this animation, but I'm not going to put them on my list because it's more of a folktale told within the movie. Anyway, when the leprechauns considered their job done, they went back to living in the woods, all except for one little shit who refused to go back home. Are you too good for
Somebody
your
said
own leprechaun?
what his name is.
Answer me! Cut to this dude, Father Jacob, who's looking
Like a
real crazy and
leprechaun or
fearful
something?
and
I don't think it's
sweaty.
lep-
He's so off his
I might be
rocker that he
completely wrong.
attacks a friggin'
Leprechaun?
rainbow with a
I don't
shovel. Careful there, man. You might accidentally hit that little lad who loves berries and cream. Eventually, we see what he's so afraid of. It's
I get that
Leprechaun in his
reference.
cool new cloak. Looking kind of Babadooky there, Leppy boy. Jacob gets all crazy-eyed and starts splashing the leperdook with some holy clover water.
Damn clovers.
Lep
Oh,
gets so
clover
pissed,
water.
they get
Okay,
into
I was
a
gonna say
little
holy
slashy,
water.
stabby fight. Jacob comes out on top and banishes Lep back into the earth from whence he came. So Lep
Oh,
gets dragged down
okay.
into the ground by a bunch of hands. Man,
Whose
I wish a
hands?
Freddy glove would pop up and grab his little leprechaun.
Oh,
His
yeah.
mission accomplished.
Freddy versus
Jacob
Jason.
apologizes to this youth
Or the,
center and dies.
the
Shame
teaser for
about
that.
weird shiny CG blood coming out of him, but whatever, I guess. Go with God, Jacob.
That's
It's
not
1 year
amazing.
later now, and it doesn't look like that youth center ever came soon. The project died with Father Jacob, as we learned from our
only
soon-to-be
a year?
heroes, Emily and her friends Lisa and Jamie. Lisa's great because she's real good at spelling out the movie's themes without any subtlety.
How come every time something good's about to happen, somebody always gotta go and fuck it up?
Jamie, meanwhile, is in some serious shit with this dude.
How many
Watson
people are in
because
that
he owes
car?
him money for drugs, Snatch. So Watson shakes him down, takes his shoes, and gives him till the end of the week to pay him. Sounds like Jamie's life
What is this,
needs to
Friday?
take a serious U-turn. Watson's also got a problem with Emily's ex-boyfriend Rory, who's new to the drug dealing game and has been selling in Watson's territory.
Don't.
Must be working for him,
Don't
though,
do
'cause
that.
He's obviously making enough to live out his anime-inspired dreams with his little cap and jacket and motorcycle. It's so cute. Watson's Lieutenant Cedric, played by rapper Sticky Fingers, talks mad shit, but you know how much Rory gives a fuck? The amount it takes to do a drive-by batting, boom, it's a home run. And
where
Watson
did the
goes
bat come
wild.
from?
Emily and Lisa have a little car malfunction, which
A little?
triggers another overt thematic statement from Lisa.
What's it gonna get better for us, Sam? Why our lives gotta be like this?
Also,
Emily
can't they
promises
like
that
ride
things
in
will
the
get
tow
better,
truck
an optimism
usually?
that
Don't
keeps
they give
her
you a ride?
working at a beauty salon while she tries to save up for college. Some peanut gallery ladies make fun of her for wanting to go to Kansas State, but Emily's bigger annoyance
What's
is
wrong with
Chanel,
Kansas
chick dating
State?
her ex Rory, and
They're
who's played by
the-
the absolutely lovely Keisha Sharp.
Can I get some service up in here?
Okay, so her character's not exactly
not the-
lovely here. here, but from my experience watching Lethal Weapon footage at my old job, she is a gem of a person. Emily and Lisa go to a psychic, Esmeralda, who looks into her scale model son and starts talking to Emily about how she lost her man and shit. Way to pick at that scab, lady. But then she excites Emily by saying she'll come into riches soon. But not so fast there, Em, because some freaky deaky light flickering happens.
Maybe I'm getting confused with Washington State.
Saying the treasure must be denied when offered because it'll actually be a little shitty. Cue a fucking page peel transition to a scene where Jamie's getting so movie high he thinks his dog is asking him for a hit.
No, no, you can't have none.
He finds a 4-leaf clover in the weed he bought from Rory, so he goes to complain and tell Rory that he needs better customer service.
Do I look like a Kmart?
He also tries real hard to convince
Kmart,
that the
used to
slang
exist.
everyone's using is the word ninja.
Filled with clovers, ninja. Ninja?
I don't think it's gonna stick. I don't know who's the more annoying customer for Rory, Jamie or this movie's clueless white dude character who buys Rory's weed for his ambiguous clients.
My clients love this shit. I swear I sell more because of this. Chronic!
Jamie brings Rory to a little picnic they're all having at the youth center construction site when, holy shit, it's a goddamn rainbow. And it feels so good.
Is there gonna be a pot of gold?
Up in my bod. Yeah, I have no idea what that was all about. But when
how
Rory
did they do that?
Emily,
who just sees that and just goes dancing in a rainbow?
A friggin' pit. They didn't get far on that youth center project, but I guess they at least broke ground. Rory runs off to get help, but Emily just decides to explore this strange magical land filled with candles and cobwebs and a fun-sized treasure chest. Rory comes down just in time to join Emily as she opens Marcellus Wallace's briefcase. They count up the souls, or gold, and figure out that there's a whole lot of money here, and Emily's happy to share it equally among the 4 of them.
And Leprechauns could take offense to that.
We can all benefit from this.
Yeah, expense was gold.
Spend it responsibly.
Well, back then gold wasn't that crazy.
Because the next thing we get is a montage, and I ain't never seen no fiscally responsible montage. Nah, these ladies buy a car that's probably too expensive and take their riches to Rodeo Drive, famously expensive shopping district in the famously expensive Beverly Hills. It's where they rode horses in the Bachelor.
Why are they carrying like gift bags?
Demographic is sure to appreciate. As far as the dudes go, Jamie responsibly pays back Watson to get out of debt, and irresponsibly buys 2 garbage bags full of weed from him too. And Rory
2 garbage bags?
Stuff, as well as a Glock for himself.
That's not a Glock.
She's free to grab his gun whenever she pleases. With his gold Leppy powers activated, the Lep man awakens, punching through his shallow dirt bed to grope the open air above it. He must really want to get far from the ground after that burial.
So he climbs a tree?
Like a
I would love to see Leprechaun climb a tree.
A corner. That means he probably found out about this party they're having where they're playing some off-brand Nelly.
Oh wow, I know exactly. Okay, yep, I know exactly what that song's supposed to be.
After Jamie leaves with the lady, the Lep shows up and is like, "Pass it to me now." The guy does, and Lep has such a good time, he winds up rolling around on the floor like a little giggle puss. But he sobers up real fast when he sees one of his gold shillings that the dude tries to pocket for himself. Lep
right in front of him, 420 friendly dude,
with a bong and killing it.
Really?
So if the bong was sharp enough to impale his torso, how are you about to put your mouth on that thing? Lep wanders downstairs because that dude got the munchies, or he's pregnant. Either way, he's going for those pickles. It's a real goofball scene since Jamie never notices it, even slamming the fridge door in his face. I get that it's supposed to be funny,
almost like Scooby-Doo.
It's also kind of dumb, especially when it ends with Jamie accidentally locking Lep inside the fridge and Lep just hotboxes it. Emily and Lisa find the Lep's broken bong victim, and the cops come to clear the place out. This one cop, Officer Whitaker, questions Rory like he's in The Wire or some shit.
You've been making a lot of moves on the street in the past couple of days, Rory.
Oh, you know,
tone down that intensity, dude. We're in a Leprechaun movie. Jamie gets arrested for possession of grass clippings, and the cops take him away. Meanwhile, Chanel has stolen a coin from Rory and gets it melted down and made into a gold tooth.
Possession, or would that just be like, oh, so he's gonna have fun with that later.
She's supposed to be giving that one lady, Doria, a massage. But while M's getting more oil,
I mean, it wouldn't be.
Has to lep it up. He gives Doria
what would that charge be for that much?
For some reason, she's into it, even when he starts walking on her back with his nasty.
Because it wasn't like transporting it.
But then his killing gene takes over, and he just reaches down and breaks this lady's neck. This is Lep being a grade A little shit. Doria didn't take any of his gold or anything.
But he just wanted to.
Lep attacks Emily and tries to stab her with a pair of scissors, but she fights back by grabbing a hair trimmer and stabbing him in the eye with it. It's a
well, that's he's done that. He's done that. Oh wait, is she gonna turn Leprechaun now?
Yanks
the blood
down to the floor. He ends the fun of it by ripping it out and temporarily losing an eye. Emily runs to Rory and says they have to return everything.
Also,
they bought
didn't
with
the
gold.
blood like
she tells the same to Jamie when he conveniently drives up to them to deliver a curbside "So You Think You Can Dance" audition. She's not able to get to Lisa though, who's home by herself until the Leprechaun comes and trips her to the ground. They engage in a
nobody's like
chase with Jack dancing his way through the bathroom door and Lisa using a hairspray flamethrower on his face.
Yeah,
but you
The
know
Shining.
Lep's gonna win this in the end after he appears in the bathroom and leaps on her. Then uses his little Lep hand to punch a hole into Lisa's stomach. She dies slowly, surely wondering what she did to deserve to have this nasty fuck as the last thing she ever saw. The others get to Lisa's house and find her body, then retreat back to Emily's house where she says they have to give back all the gold they took. But there's barely anything left since Rory spent most of his.
On what?
When she throws the chest at him, they realize that it's magically refilled itself with souls, or gold, and that it's a trick that it can repeat at will, apparently. Emily is still adamant they return it, it, but while she's in the other room, Rory apparently takes it and bails. Lep comes after Emily that night,
hi.
clearly wanting revenge for the barbershop ass beating she
that's
delivered,
why.
but he sucks so bad that she fends him off with a book. But wait, he's not done yet. Oh, from the top turnbuckle, it's a flying leprechaun.
I was gonna say, imagine if he just completely missed.
But oh my god, is that Rory's music? It is! And he's there with a drive-by batting. Oh, it's a signature move. Then Rory runs the Lep over, which is just kind of manslaughter, and he gets Emily to saddle up with him and ride.
No helmets
walks
though?
after them as the scene fades to morning.
Can he like teleport?
I'm sorry, what was that? That's what I thought you said. That morning, Leprechaun visits Chanel, who doesn't waste any time whipping out the shotgun and shooting Lep with it.
Leprechaun.
But he's fine, of course.
And the
pulls her
tooth.
to the ground where he sees something he likes. Yep, it's her gold tooth. Unless you think ripping out a tooth isn't fatal, we see that Lep apparently went overboard when he tosses her jaw to the ground. Rory and Emily speed on the bike past those cops from earlier, so they corner them under an overpass, and we get another wacky Star Wars transition that the editors found in iMovie. They're actually everywhere in this movie. I just don't have the time to show you all.
I could use those same ones. I never have.
Treasure box, and since it's illegal to be in possession of that many souls or gold, damn it, Rory and Emily
definitely not
and put in the backseat of the cruiser. But don't look now, it's notorious civil rights lawyer Leprechaun, and he knows those kids just got busted on a trumped-up charge. Lep files his complaint with the PD by shooting Officer Thompson in the gut with his own flashlight and tossing him aside. Consider your ass guilty of being dead. Officer Whitaker.
Let me guess, the kill count's going up just a little bit.
Then has a pretty sweet MMA fight with the little shit. Lep grabs his leg and wait for it. Yeah, look down there, dude. Rips it right the fuck off.
Do they get that kind of training?
Lep is holding it in his hands, but Whitaker doesn't die right away because, after all, it's just a flesh wound. He hops at Lep a few times.
Dude, that balance is nuts.
Reclaim his limb before he finally falls to the ground. All right, he'll call it a draw.
I mean, there's a major artery there.
Next, but Emily manages to grab the police shotgun and participate in that old reliable pastime of shooting leprechauns.
With a shotgun.
Time to mention that now I know shotgun shells don't go into the leprechaun. That's the part that falls to the ground empty. Thank you for correcting me in the comments for my leprechaun kill count. Now I know better. Rory and Emily scoop up Jamie so they can get rid of the gold, but then they get cornered by Watson and his crew.
Well,
and he
I mean, it's a shotgun, so it's different.
Himself before going to exact some non-monetary revenge. And that's when a police car drives up.
Only like that part leaves.
Footsteps out of the vehicle, only for us to see that it's the
this part
limb of Officer Whitaker.
Stays behind.
And it was actually Leprechaun driving that police car.
How can Leprechaun drive?
The gold he just took is rightfully his.
Like a full-size car. It was always the little cars.
Funny gag. Watson puts him on hold as he takes a call from a lady who's all like, "Watson, come here."
He's like the audacity.
After Watson gets her to take a rain check,
like, can you believe this guy?
How
do you uppercut somebody that's 3 feet tall?
Watson to beat the shit out of him. Guess you never saw any of the other Leprechaun movies, Watson, because Lep could take a beating, dude. Leprechaun basically pulls a Manhattan rooftop Jason here, tiring Watson out before delivering
that was such a good
blow,
scene.
which in this case means stabbing into Watson's gut and ripping out his still beating prop part. Watson's gang takes an immediate disliking to Leprechaun and opens fire on him.
Fully automatic. That's fine.
They just tear into the little shit and get him looking like that Part 1 puppet that fell into the web. Then the puppet turns back into Warwick Davis.
What are those, Dracos?
Out that hip new youth slang.
What's up, ninjas?
Nope, sounds weird. Then he fights them all, but I don't think these first two
actually
killed, because I'm just here
I'd rather he say that more than the other one.
Cedric though, after he jumps on him,
because you know Leprechaun would.
Rory manages to get Lep off, but it's too late. Cedric bleeds out to death as he looks into Rory's eyes, all like, "Hey man, can you believe a leprechaun just did this shit to me?" Lep turns his attention to Rory next, only to get hit by a car, scary movie style, by Emily and Jamie. They think they're in the clear, but
they're not.
Is sideshow bobbing underneath that car with some real jank-looking special effects that only get worse when he looks through a hole in the car floor that he tore off. They're eventually able to shake him off the vehicle and drive
you would think
away,
he would like mess with some part of the car, like the brakes or something.
The backstory of the leprechauns that we learned in the opening animation sequence, and then says that he has two weaknesses:
his gold and the four-leaf clover.
Good thing Jamie's got
at least
for
keeping the
four-leaf and that it just so happens to have clovers in it. Rory gets to work chopping up the clovers and putting them inside the hollow tip bullets for the clock. Then we clock wipe away to Rory and Jamie getting ready for the big leprechaun showdown. Leppy Boy busts down the door and Rory just shoots him friggin' immediately.
These are hollow point 5.7s.
He puts a few more rounds in him, which causes Lep to bleed out yellow floating bubbles. But when his gun
hate it when that happens.
Lep just sucks all those little orbs.
Why did he jam?
Knocks down both Rory and Emily. Jamie
actually, it's very possible
that
it could jam if he like
and stabs Jamie in the leg with it. But guns and baseball bats are boring. Let's have a motherfucking magic fight between Esmeralda and Leprechaun. Hell yeah! She starts hitting him up with some powerful blue magic orbs and shit, and she seems to have the upper hand until Lep's eyes glow red and he growls like a demon.
Why? Oh, okay.
He's stray further from God with every one of these movies.
And there's a seventh one.
In an exterior shot, meaning we'll never know what dark
That's how you spell that name.
Kill her with, but those storm eyes tell me she's pretty dead. Rory and Emily escape and wind up on top of the roof, but Lep is able to just transport to where they are and get
we had 10 in the last one, right? So we're gonna have 11 in this one.
On pause when she grabs the treasure chest and starts throwing his gold shillings off of the roof and into some drying cement. Emily's able to get away from the Lep, and she winds up in a couple of nightmarish locations when he finally catches up to her.
Is he gonna dig in the cement?
Emily opens up the furnace and tosses his chest of gold into it. Then she tosses him inside the flames as well and locks him up.
Okay, that's gotta be warm.
Burns up all nasty like, melting into a gross green sweaty skull. But when Emily goes to get Rory from the rooftop, she's followed by a rainbow because this little Skittles motherfucker doesn't know when to stop. He ends up knocking Rory down and throwing Emily off the roof.
Just when you thought they were clear.
Onto the edge for dear life. Watch it, this dude loves playing this little piggy. But looks like the only one going wee today is Leprechaun, because Rory gets his Glock working and shoots Leprechaun with the remaining clover.
I'm sure the comments are loving to tell him that.
Bubbles out of his body. As Rory heroically rescues Emily from the edge, Lep manages
also that grip.
To suck those orbs back inside of himself again and take like 1,001 more bullets.
How many rounds are in that mag?
Those orbs? They don't seem to do anything. Because what really spells the end of Lep is Emily hitting him with the treasure chest and knocking him off.
I don't think that magazine was California compliant.
With all of his shillings into a perfectly Lep-sized little pool of wet cement.
Okay, how much cement is there? Is there no rebar?
His way down below the surface, but
is that like
he's fully submerged.
3 feet of concrete?
On the list. A rooftop hug signals the end of our story. Oh wait, let's denouement with some basic Ray sounding music over a happy motorcycle montage.
That's on R1, okay.
Nice. We also get confirmation that Jamie lived. Oh, and look, the youth center finally opened.
Nice.
The end.
Did they use the gold, or they lose all the gold?
But did he pick up more kills on his second visit?
I think he did.
Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Maybe, actually, I don't know.
There were 11 victims in Leprechaun back.
They got to be doing it on purpose at this point, right? Like, it's intentional.
Movie. Good work, Lep.
Yeah.
The victims included 7 men and 4 women, the most balanced gender breakdown for a Leprechaun movie yet.
That's true.
The runtime of 90 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average every 8.18 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for.
I mean, they're just gonna have more and more.
Tearing a leg off is one of the more graphic kills Lep has done, but what really seals
I'm so happy and proud of it.
To give up and die, as well as the post-mortem use his leg gets for that funny police car gag. Doll Machete for lamest kill will go to Doria, not only because it's a return to those lame neck snaps from the first couple.
But she also had nothing to do with this.
She didn't do anything, Lep, and that's it. Leprechaun Back to the Hood came out on video in 2003 and would be Warwick Davis's last dance with Leppy Boy. I'll admit that while covering these movies, I've developed a slight fondness.
People said in the comments that he
eventually
grows to appreciate them.
Reboot on Friday, but
until then, the reboot will be next week. It'll probably just be a standalone video.
Thanks a lot for watching today's kill count. I want to thank a couple of patrons like Lee Chapman and Eddie Viegas.
Couldn't do that to patrons.
Bad news for you. There's only one Leprechaun movie left.
And I'm hopefully gonna make like a.
Don't expect Leprechaun Origins to be anything like the movies that we just covered, because it is not. And for everyone wanting to know the next franchise, you'll find out soon.
I don't know what it is.
On Friday for that. And unlike that little shit Leprechaun, be good people.
Also, if anything ever has to be blurred, it's copyright. I can't do anything about it.
Kill count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies.
I feel like the last one had copyright issues, didn't it?
Today we're looking at Leprechaun Origins, the reboot Leprechaun movie.
But they did an 8th one.
Origins was made
and
by
9th one's in the work.
WWE Studios and stars one of its wrestlers, Dylan Postel, better known as Hornswoggle, as the Leprechaun.
I couldn't tell you a single thing.
Very loosely, because this creature is not your father's Leprechaun. The Origins Leprechaun is more like a feral beast than a sentient little shit. It never speaks or has any fun. It just kills people and runs at them.
So they tried to make it
POV shots.
like a horror
the Warwick Davis Leprechaun movies are, at least they have spirit and a unique voice to them. This reboot is just a poorly lit, generic monster movie using the Leprechaun brand to try to make some money. But maybe this creature could outkill Davis's Leprechaun. Let's find out.
Wait, so did they like sell the rights or the IP for the Leprechaun series?
With an aerial shot, which wow, a Leprechaun movie with an actual budget. That's kind of cool. A couple,
it's a drone, I'm pretty sure.
Through the woods from something chasing after them. Francis has to take a breather, and while he does, he sticks a knife in the ground for later plot purposes.
Also, if you take a breather, who falls to their knees?
She sheds some weight by tossing her backpack to the ground.
Why'd she throw it that far?
Jingle sound. They make it out of the tree line, but then Francis gets lost world pulled below the grass. And the next time Catherine sees him, he's a bloody mess with a missing finger and his face all scratched.
How do you just lose? How do you lose just that finger?
Life by the unseen Leprechaun, giving us a kickoff kill just 2 minutes in. Catherine continues on without him.
But here's the thing: is it gonna have what? 12 kills, 13 kills? Whatever we get to.
And is eventually pulled away through the grass in a
Red Bull Extreme GoPro shot.
Getting killed by the reboot Leprechaun off.
Dude, Red Bull be doing everything but big drinks.
The opening credits play over more aerial shots of Ireland.
This one never had just like a straight Red Bull.
Establishing shots for a film to have, but after marathoning all those cheap shithouse Leprechaun movies, it feels like we're watching a work of God goddamn art here. We meet our protagonists, a group of
If only they used this budget with the other ones, it'd be so much better.
Selfless Sophie is there with her boyfriend Ben, and they're joined by a fun-loving couple, Jenny and David. David's played by Brendan Fletcher of Freddy vs. Jason fame, so at least we'll have that going for us. Their ride stops short of the village they're headed to, and the local driver points them in the direction they need to go, saying he can't drive them any further. Might have something to do with the monolith we saw in that opening, which is covered in symbols which the Americans now pass as they continue to the village on foot. At the village,
why is it always Americans doing tourist things?
Hamish, played by Gary Chalk, who was also in Freddy vs. Jason. It's a goddamn family reunion. After he hears them talk
about similarities between
history, he offers to show them a stone structure
who did the casting?
That he says is the oldest existing historical artifact in all of Ireland.
Quite possibly the cradle of Celtic civilization itself.
Oh, I thought that was Boston. It's a 7-hour hike from where they're at, but he offers them a cabin to stay at to make it a feasible day trip. Ben complains about how long it'll take, and we get the idea that he's just generally a sort of stick in the mud, even though Sophie has apparently sacrificed a lot for him.
Never had Guinness. Many medical conferences I've sat through for you.
But democracy prevails, and the other three vote down his pessimism. It's settled. They're going to stay at a cabin in the woods. Something that has never, ever been a bad decision in the history of horror movies. They get a ride from Hamish's son Sean, who is, well, you know, he could be a little friendlier. He's prickly to the tourists and even has a fraught relationship with his father.
I'm driving here.
Hamish drinks a road.
Wait, why is it?
Tells the kids
about
the history of their village.
Right side of the
15 years
car?
ago, they found a cave full of gold and started mining it. But eventually,
the cave collapsed. Things ain't been the same around here ever since.
David notices
they unleashed a
sporting
leprechaun.
Rolex, but he just says it was a gift from a tourist. $5,000 gift? Hope you declared that shit on your taxes, Hamish. Eventually, they arrive at their little cabin.
That looked like a date just.
Down, but at least
probably
it's secure. Against what exactly? Well,
probably a 36mm.
Which causes Hamish to go straight for his shotgun. He shoots at it and
into
runs
horology.
away. I guess it wouldn't be a Leprechaun movie without a shotgun. The inside of this place sucks a lot, with no electricity and a fireplace that looks like it hasn't done a great job containing fire. But the Irishmen bid the Americans fond adieu and leave them for the night. Unbeknownst to the tourists, Hamish takes off his Rolex and leaves it hanging on a nail on his way out. That's not a nightstand, silly.
No, that's that's a lot more than $5,000. That is a day date, which are only made in
when he and Jenny start getting down to action,
precious metals, and I believe that has a presidential bracelet.
In the other room,
that is a lot more than $5,000.
Planning to put off her masters to stay with Ben as he goes to Harvard for med school, he becomes critically cold to her, and she goes to bed alone. That night, a noise from outside wakes up Jenny, who looks out the living room window to see a creature run by. Oh shit, was that a leprechaun?
You're in a scary cabin in a foreign country, and you're not going to sleep next to each other?
That's why they call it the woods, babe. Lions and tigers and chickens and shit.
The jungle,
Jenny
but
insists that she didn't just see a run-of-the-mill "oh my" animal, so David goes to check outside for her, only to find that the door's locked. Ellie, the door's locked. Locked from the outside, so they realize all the windows have gotten a real Marge Johnson treatment, barred shut. Seems like maybe a good thing at first, since there's a sticky-finger leprechaun out there. But turns out it's like a hacker and has a back door to the place. Because when Jenny takes a breather by the fireplace, she loses her gold earring to something that, oh my god, this leprechaun has a golden predator vision. Yeah, get ready for a lot of bullshit like this, because this movie uses these cheap POV shots and close-ups to avoid showing us the leprechaun. I get wanting to keep the monster kind of mysterious, but once the characters themselves see the thing, you should probably let the audience have a shared experience.
Yeah,
or,
maybe.
You know, just use real cliche horror movie shots to keep obfuscating the character.
Like jump scares like that.
Even when the leprechaun busts through a wall to join them in the bedroom,
you still don't see
it hidden by flipping a bed onto it. Just let us see the goddamn leprechaun.
Honestly, I'm not
out that the fireplace
completely against not seeing
God, even the sound effects are
like
cliche.
the monster.
They all escape, but the Predacon
because it kind of makes it
David before he's
more
like and leaves him with one
the
seriously
mist.
mangled leg. Ben's able to temporarily lock the thing inside the house, and they escape into the woods as the leprechaun busts out behind them. Except, hey, did y'all hear what I said about David's leg? Because that dude can't exactly run right now. He trips and calls out for help, but Ben
all they
and
do is outrun him.
Jenny glance back and freaking leave him behind. Maybe they just want Brendan Fletcher's character to die, so their performances
I guess they're
will look
scared.
better. But Sophie's played by Stephanie Bennett, whose performance can hold up on its own. So she goes back to save him, stopping the leprechaun with a fire blast from her lantern and helping David up.
Yeah, that would work.
They all get to another house that they saw on their way to the cabin. Make it safely inside before that golden POV shot can catch up to them. Inside, they find a switch that turns on a bunch of exterior lights, which apparently scare the creature away. Now he's afraid of bright lights.
Why?
This leprechaun
He went to Las Vegas.
While searching for a phone, Sophie goes into the basement where she finds a bunch of shoes. Does this look like shoes? Oh no, it's just clothes in general. Probably from all the other tourists that were sacrificed to this leprechaun.
How many people go to Ireland?
Speaking of which, he and Sean are hanging out, chatting about the morality of what they're doing when their buddy Ian pulls up to join them. Looks like Sean's not into it.
I'm not sure my son has the stomach for this after all.
Wouldn't it be easier
just to leave this village.
He doesn't want to keep killing innocent people, but Hamish justifies it by saying they're not innocent, they're outsiders. Wait, what? I guess the story here is that their village got greedy, took all the gold from that cave, and that's why they have to sacrifice people to the leprechaun.
Or else the
Honestly,
leprechaun comes after them.
It's not a horrible premise, but if you want this movie to be
kind of reminds me of Until
Dawn,
Dawn,
fucking life
that game.
Into it, man. Instead, it falls back on
I've seen like
more
multiple
horror
playthroughs of that game.
like
It's
when Sophie
terrifying.
finds out crucial backstory in a random book she finds in the basement. In this book is the
I wasn't even
symbol
playing the
she
game
saw
when I
on
was
the
scared.
monolith, which means Tuatha De Danann.
What the fuck does that mean?
It means leprechaun, motherfucker. And if you take its gold, you have to make amends until the debt has been repaid.
But they didn't
They locked us in there to sacrifice us to a leprechaun.
Yep,
sacrifice.
They realized the monolith that their driver wouldn't pass must act as a sort of leprechaun barrier. So there, we've got all the exposition out of the way. We can get back to this plotting
a leprechaun petting zoo.
Sean and Ian
That's
get
great.
to the cabin and find that the kids managed to escape, meaning the leprechaun is still a
You think it'd make that,
boy.
like,
They see the lights on at the other house,
foolproof. They
speed
can't get
off
out.
towards it in their trucks. And when the kids hear them coming,
They're
they
in
start
danger
to
of
arm
leprechaun,
themselves,
though.
pulling weapons out like they're going under the ring in a wrestling video game, or maybe over the crowd barricade, whichever simile works for you. Sean and Hamish come downstairs and find the kids standing there looking like a poorly financed street gang, and Sean succumbs to his guilt and respect for the Americans being able to escape like they did.
Maybe they've earned their freedom now.
I've got to hand it to actor Teach Grant,
Maybe they don't
who
have
plays
a
Sean.
choice.
He's putting in a lot of work here as the son questioning the morality of his village's
Honestly,
ways, and I wish this movie gave him a better home for his performance. The standoff ends when they hear Ian shooting his gun upstairs, so
he's doing
Hamish
good.
runs off and says he'll deal with the Americans later.
He had an
leaving
opportunity.
Sean to guard them.
He's doing
These
good.
actions make no sense given his character, but you know, plot stuff. Obviously, the kids aren't content to just stay down there, so Sophie axes
They're
her way
also
out the basement
curious.
door. Sean is standing there with his gun at the ready, but he simply doesn't have the will to kill, so he stands down and lets them all pass without incident. They run
he's
off
the
into
only
woods, which
survivor?
I'm sure David is just thrilled to do again. Went
Yeah.
so well the first time.
Did
Hamish
that
takes
make a
flare to
split?
go find
I don't know how
Ian,
much time
and
they
find
had,
him he
but-
does, impaled upon some farm equipment. He still has
Ooh.
enough life left in him to warn Hamish that there's a golden POV shot standing right behind him. But after Hamish manages to escape through the window, we hear Ian's death screams as this still mostly unseen leprechaun kills him for good. David's really riding the struggle bus through the woods with his leg all sorts of bloody nasty. So
Is
when
it?
a car
Okay, maybe
approaches
it's
the kids,
yeah,
they
it's
get
ankle.
real
It's hard
excited
to
since
yeah.
the kindly
Put a split on
older
an
woman
ankle
Mary
because the
driving
weight.
it seems
Yeah.
willing to help them out and give them a ride. But come on, it's to no one's surprise that
Sacrifice.
this is a Texas Chainsaw type town with all of its residents in on the evil afoot. Mary parks the car. And
Is it
gets
because
out
they're
right
also
as
getting
Hamish
the gold
and Sean
for it?
roll up in their truck. They get the kids out of the car at gunpoint, but Hamish makes the mistake of mentioning that they need the kids alive for this to work, so Ben charges them with a pipe. A short
Yeah, that's
skirmish
fair.
ensues, but it
Also,
ends
they
after
let them
Mary
have
knocks
their
Sophie
weapons.
out,
They didn't tell
and
them
the
to drop
filmmakers
it.
get to grab another shot with their cool new GoPro Hero 4. Sophie wakes up to find that she and all her friends have been tied to some trees with gold around their necks. Sure, they may be about to die, but at least they'll be shining. The new shit-looking leprechaun shows up, and we get the clearest view of him yet. And god damn, this is bad.
that
No wonder
Gollum?
they didn't want to show him.
Did
He
someone
looks
melt
like a
Gollum?
sci-fi movie monster. The creature approaches a screaming Jenny, and in a decent
Ew.
shot of gore, rips
Is that
out
her
her golden tongue ring. When David screams in protest,
Wait,
the
why
creature
is her
then
tongue
approaches
ring
him
gold?
and
I've
delivers
never
a
seen
seriously
that
gnarly
Pearson be
slash across
gold.
his belly.
Ugh.
Those are some deep gashes, but thankfully the swipe also cut the ropes that bound him, so David's able to escape and grab a
But
machete
he
that
has
he uses to
one
free Jenny
good
from
leg.
her bondage. He distracts the leprechaun by being some first-person bait, and
Dude,
Jenny
what-
uses the machete
what a
to free
hero.
him. But then the jig is up, and it's snack time for New Lep. The others run away.
Dude, what
as
a
the most
hero.
entertaining character in this movie
Yo,
is
that guy's
killed off
awesome.
with some more disappointing first-person golden shots. Ugh. It's time for Act 3, which means Sophie needs to show some character development. So now she's a strong girl with a plan to kill the creature. They head back to the
What
cabin
is the
where
plan?
She hangs her
Do-
gold
do you
necklace
know?
on the fireplace and spells out the plan. One person will
Oh.
stay outside, wait for the leprechaun to go through its fireplace door, and lock it behind him. And the other two will stay inside to kill the creature when it exits the Flu Network. Sounds like a plan.
What if they
except
just
maybe this
locked it-
leprechaun isn't as dumb as he looks.
What if
Good
they just
thing,
locked
since
it
he
in
looks
the
really
chimney?
fucking dumb. When Jenny goes to push him through the door, he counteracts and ends up pushing her through the door so that she's the one who gets a face full of axe. It's a fucking brutal kill and devastating
trigger
to
discipline
Ben and
people.
Sophie,
Come
because
on.
they just straight up murdered their friend. It's also probably the single best moment in the movie, so savor it now. We've still got 30 minutes of shit
definitely
ahead.
gonna.
Sophie and Ben
will that be
once
the golden
again run
chainsaw?
down that road. The leprechaun hot on their heels, and when Sophie trips, Ben once again just keeps on running.
Or
Wow,
what's his
this movie
face
sucks.
being a sacrifice.
Eventually, they both get into the truck left behind by Ian. Too bad the keys are nowhere to be found, so they're sitting ducks.
Also
when the
gives me
leprechaun
Chernobyl
smashes
Diaries
his shitty
vibes.
body against
Another
the truck.
movie
He
that
eventually
terrified
lets them
me.
breathe for a minute, and Sophie's all like, "Yo, why'd you keep running back there?" Turning the whole situation in there awkward. They see Ian's body and determine he must have the keys. So Sophie tells Ben to go distract the leprechaun with a flare while she gets it. Ben tries to act all concerned for her now, but you're forgetting this is Act 3, Sophie.
Is that the leprechaun?
character growth. They take off out of the truck, each doing their own thing. Sophie loots the dead man's body as Ben lights up
what
the
if
Leprechaun
it wasn't
so we can
there?
get a
What
better
was their
view of
backup
just
plan?
how shitty he looks. The Leprechaun blocks Sophie from the truck on her way back, so another foot chase leads them back into that house. But the Leprechaun follows closely
the
and
original one or the second
Ben
one?
And yanks him away. A
bye, Ben.
GoPro shot portends that we've got another kill coming, and it's a pretty good one. The Leprechaun rips out Ben's spine, and the camera lingers long enough to show us the gore. It looks great, and the fact that Ben was a big old piece of shit makes the kill that much better. Sophie makes her way upstairs.
That's like the last 10 minutes we've had 3 main characters die.
Disappointment of a creature sounds
This
like.
is gonna be a short movie. It sounds like the lion for the
Yep, just standard growls.
What was it, the cartoon?
Like a pissed off tiger at the zoo than an ancient evil creature. Right when the Leprechaun finds where
Paramount?
Sophie is hiding, Sean runs in and starts shooting at him with a shotgun. Sophie takes the opportunity to sneak past Sean and run back downstairs, where she's found by Hamish, who holds her at gunpoint. Sean joins them, and even though Hamish calls Sean a good lad for everything he's done, Sean tells Sophie to run as he spins around and points his gun at his foes. Hamish tries to defend himself, but struggle
close quarters combat with a shotgun.
Breaking and or straining at least something in the process. The hashtag Not My Leprechaun comes downstairs and here's Hamish calling for help. So he goes down there to help him.
What did they do to him?
He's there to kill him. It's mostly done off screen and in, you guessed it, golden POV shots. So yeah, sorry for anyone looking to see this dude die graphically. Sean stands at the top of the stairs crying over his father, and although this is the last time we see him in this movie, I'm not gonna put him on the count, because like maybe he just pieced out after Leprechaun was done eating his dad. In any case, Sophie gets to the truck outside and manages to get it going. She starts driving away.
I don't know.
Wouldn't you know it?
I feel like James has enough pull, he could just kind of like
riding back there, having a real good
contact the director, just like, hey, so what's happened here?
By slamming on the brakes, which sends him
That's why you wear a seatbelt.
As blurry shots try to hide how shitty looking this thing is, Sophie goes to start the truck again, only to discover it no worky anymore, so she sets off on foot. The sun comes up just in time for Sophie's morning jog through the woods, and right when she gets a real nice BPM going, she trips over the backpack Catherine tossed down in the opening. Inside is a bunch of gold shillings, and apparently the script of the original Leprechaun.
And they were that close to the monolith?
Sophie glances at Francis's plot knife and steals a line from that movie.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
She tosses the coins in the air, and as the Leprechaun looks up distracted, she grabs the plot knife and decapitates the so-called
Leprechaun. You know how hard it is to do that?
Swing. It's a pretty solid
Also, we're not going to be topping the kill counts.
We get an extended view of the head just kind of bobbing around on the ground there, so that's fun. The best thing about this kill, though, is that it means we're finally done here. The movie ends with Sophie getting to the monolith and finally crossing that magical barrier.
Now explain this to the authorities.
To avoid a number of other possible leprechauns running through the tall grass alley.
There's more than one leprechaun.
I love the Warwick Davis leprechaun in 90 minutes flat. This earsats leprechaun couldn't even match our Leppy Boy in kills. Here,
I know, right? Like even the first movie. But also, I should have. This should be like a supercut video or something like that with all 7 of these in one video.
With a runtime of 90 minutes, that comes out
so
to
if you want to do some future ones, let me know.
5 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Jenny. It's maybe the most graphic in the movie, and the reason I give it the edge over Ben finding his spine
because it was done by them.
It's so tragic for Ben and Sophie. PTSD for life.
James likes that.
The lamest kill has loads of options, but I guess Catherine's is the lamest since we see the least from it. Nothing but that stupid GoPro shot. And that's it. Leprechaun Origins came out in 2014, shockingly in theaters, but it failed to impress literally anyone, as evidenced by its piss-poor box office take and its 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
How do you get a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Done with the Leprechaun series.
They made
Sci-Fi's Leprechaun Returns next year.
Yeah, they did an 8th one, and
if you kept
a 9th one's in the works.
Learn to have a little fun, all right?
Yeah,
you'll find
I read all the comments. It's fun.
When I announce it this weekend.
It's gonna be Saw 1 and 2. It'll be next week. It's gonna be a longer video.
I'll have a video announcing the next franchise,
which I might.
And a few changes for the channel out on Sunday. Also, if you
there's like
check out the
what 10, 11 Saw movies or whatever.
That we're uploading in the playlist.
I don't know if I can do that in a supercut.
Chelsea and me a chance to talk about things more in depth. We also do movie reviews. There's one for The Quiet Place out right now. So you should definitely go see that in theaters, then go watch our video reviewing it. Be good people.
I've never seen The Quiet Place. I've heard crazy things about it, but yeah, no, we'll do Saw 1 and 2. I actually have seen Happy Death Day, which I'm not sure how I'm going to fit that into everything. I guess maybe there's no rush to do it, so maybe I could do Saw, just kind of go through the Saw series, and then, then we get The Purge. And then what do I do with Happy Death Day? Does that be a standalone? I don't really know. There's so many kill counts I gotta get to. I'm gonna try to be doubling up so I can try and get caught up. It's gonna be a long time. The series is not leaving the channel for a while. As long as it's okay with Dead Meat and James, hopefully it is, because I have come to love James' sense of humor and these videos and learning about these movies and seeing clips from these movies that I've never even heard of before. So if it wasn't for James and kill counts, I would never know that there were Leprechaun horror movies or, you know, Thanksgiving and stuff like that. The other things to be grateful for. I actually saw I was in Marshall's today and saw like 4 Funko Pops for Trick or Treat. And I was like, hey, wait. You know Leonardo DiCaprio and me? And I was like, oh, whoa, wait, whoa. Yeah, no, that was me. But Leprechaun series was great. Honestly, didn't hate it. Well, also, it's probably different when I'm watching the Kill Count. If you actually sat down and watched these movies, I'm sure it's probably a less enjoyable experience than watching it with James, because James makes funny jokes, and I really enjoy his sense of humor. It just gets me for some reason. So, also, this should be in a long supercut video. This is probably the outro for that video, so it's going to be all 7 Leprechaun movies. It's probably going to be one long video. Hopefully, it performs well. Hopefully, you enjoy it, and let me know if you want to do this, or want me to do this with future series, or future Kill Counts series and franchise and stuff like that. But I hope you have a wonderful rest today. Hopefully I made it a tiny little bit better. But until the next video, take care and cue the music.
We were playing